Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PWR Network. I'm Amy. How's everyone doing today? Oh, I'm having some issues with my internet this morning, so things aren't running as smoothly as I would like them to. So I do apologize. So welcome back to the PWR Network. I'm Amy, and today we're diving into the friendship fallout, shaking up hidden true crime. Lauren and Christina went from friends to collaborators to full-on frenemies, and the receipts are wild, you guys. Who was the bad friend here? Who started the gaslighting? And who's really been playing the victim? We're going to break it all down, TikToks, text, interviews, and statements, every piece that paints the real picture behind the hidden true crime friendship meltdown. And I got to tell you, this one is insane. So buckle up, PWR Crew, and let's get into it. I'm going to roll a few credits while we wait for the rest of the PWR Crew to roll in. Shout out to my Dragonflies and my replay crews. Love you, babies.
And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really love to have you as a PWR subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you.
And there is the link up on the screen. I will also put it down in the show notes. Everything that we watched today, I will be putting in the YouTube show notes. We do this for fair play use and to cite our sources. So if you want to see anything in its entirety, you can go over there, because we will often start stuff, stop stuff, not read everything, just fair play use commentary. So today, I thought it would be interesting to go into this drama and look at the friendship. Now, I had some people in my chat, or in my comments yesterday, telling me that I needed to look more at Christina. So we are going to also head over to the Tiki-Taki-Taki streets today. I know a lot of my viewers, you don't like to go over there, but I do go over there for you and brave those streets, because those are wild streets, I will admit. But we're going to go over there and we're going to look at what people are saying over there. I did find a very interesting interview that, what was the interview? Who was it? Okay. Hold on a second. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's up here in my lineup. I can't quite find it. I don't want to waste the time of me trying to find it when I'm just going to show it to you in a minute anyway. So let's get into it. Before we get going, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and warming them, dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out. I think, did I say jump up? My mind, I had problems getting live today, and so I need to just like cool my racing thoughts. So let me just like take a deep breath. Something's been going on with StreamYard lately, and it's been hard to connect, and these kind of things rattle me, and I just need to realize that I'm with my PWR Crew, and it's all good. It's all good, Amy. All right, so if you could just give me the thumbs up button, it would help me out a lot. Okay, here we go. Let me get my screen situated too for you guys. I didn't do my hair today or my makeup, and I came in front the first time I went, and my camera wouldn't shut off. So here I am in my PJs still with my hair, like I'm masking, and I popped in front of the screen. Ah! Boo! So if you saw that, I apologize. Okay. So some of Lauren's ex-friends have been coming out of the woodwork and talking about what's been happening. And I thought it would be really interesting to go into looking at some of those friendships. And one of them, we did report on it a little bit yesterday, but we're going to talk about it again today. And the first one I want to talk about is GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis. And the name popped into my head, Annie Elise. Annie Elise is weighing in on that. Sorry, I had a brain bleed like 5 years ago, a stroke, and I have really issues with remembering names. And there's so many names at play in this story. So I do apologize if I get any names mixed up or I can't remember one. But Annie Elise has weighed in on this. Or I found an old clip of her talking about it. One of the two, but we're going to look at it together. But first, let's go in and see what GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis has to say about this mess, because yes, GiGi is even involved in all of this. People that have been stalked. I was a legal advocate. I used to go to courts and help people get PPOs. This is not stalking. So, but that's just my opinion. Just one woman's opinion here in Michigan or Florida. I'm from Michigan, but I'm in Florida. So that's what it is. And so this is GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis. And this was her statement regarding this whole situation, because she is involved, because Lauren, it has been said that Lauren was writing pretty vicious emails in a private group chat, not emails, messages, and a private group chat about other creators that were, on the higher level playing field than, let's just say, me, right? Although GiGi is very accessible. Like I've spoke to GiGi like on the internet before. Like she's just a very kind, easygoing, like I'm not above you kind of person. And I think that's why a lot of people like GiGi. But I think that's what everybody's looking for in this life. Nobody wants to feel like somebody is one-upping them. And I feel like that's the huge issue with Lauren, is Lauren's the type of person that, and guys, this is just all my opinion. This is from me watching hours and hours of this. I urge you guys to go out there and make your own opinion. I'm just bringing you the research and what I have found. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's okay if you have a different opinion than me. I'm a Gen Xer. I come off hot and heavy, but I'm very open-minded. And if you want to, you would have to show me a whole lot to change my opinion at this point. But I am willing. And, someday Lauren might bust down those receipts that she keeps saying she's going to share with us. And I might go, oh my gosh, my opinion has been changed. I stand corrected. But as of now, my opinion on this whole story is they're both in the wrong. Would I have done what Christina did and made all those TikToks? No. Would I have done what Lauren did? Oh, no. I probably would have done what Christina did before I've done what Lauren's done. So, and I said in the beginning, I think it's going to all boil down to who do we think is the most right? And I have such empathy for you guys that were Hidden True Crime fans, because I know what it's like to have somebody you really admire get knocked off the pedestal. And you're like, oh, well, they're not who I thought they were. That sucks. But I mean, isn't that proof that maybe half the people you're watching aren't who you thought they were? I could be who you didn't think I was, or I could be completely new to you, because we've got a lot of new followers here. We hit 8K today, you guys. 8K. Woo, woo. I can't even believe it. I do have to tell you, I was musing about this morning, and I thought my life was going to be so much different at 8K. I don't know why, but I thought, like, I'm somebody, I've gone through a lot of trauma these last 3 years. I'm coming from a domestic situation, rebuilding my whole entire life, has autoimmunes. And, I just, like, when I started this channel two or 3 years ago, I just really thought 8K was going to be different, but it's not. But it's beautiful. It's wonderful having 8K, but I really thought my personal life would be a little bit more in order. But it feels good to have all you guys. So thank you for being here. Welcome to all the new people. Drinking some coffee. My OGs, I still love you and always will. I got room, and Mama's got room in her heart for everybody. So welcome, everyone. So this is GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis, and I really love GiGi. And I've seen in my comments that most of you, if not all of you, love her too. And this is her statement that she has for Lauren. I think she considered Lauren a professional colleague. She thought they had a pretty good working relationship, but come to find out in this text, which is fascinating, that she doesn't lay out all the dirty deets, but she lets us know that Lauren tried to take down her channel. That's mean girl stuff, you guys. That's Mean Girl 101. That is in the Mean Girl burn book playbook. I'm positive of it. So anyway, apparently Lauren was saying some pretty, not so nice things about GiGi, and it got back to her. And this is GiGi's statement. This is over on, I couldn't find which platform this is coming from. I went over to X. I went over to Facebook. I went over to Instagram. So I'm just a good research assistant or researcher. I would not make, because her avatar is different now. So this might be an old statement. I don't know, but it's a pretty good one. So I read this yesterday. I'm going to read it from Jay's page, and like I said, everything we link, I will put down in the show notes. We urge you to go over to all of these pages and, check them out on your own. So GiGi says, I posted on this thread, but let me copy and paste for you again. There's much more, but I don't air dirty laundry. All the drama aside from the current topic of discussion was known to a lot of us in spring. We all moved on, but I guess this has caused the past to rise back up, which I am totally over after months of being thrown in this at no fault of my own. This was in response to someone saying they hope I wasn't shunning Lauren. So I'm sure this came from a hidden minion gem. Shunning? No. But did I remove what little contact I had with her outside of being at trial after being shown proof of what absolutely awful things she said about me over the course of years, and what she did to try to affect my podcast and negatively? Absolutely. And negatively? Absolutely. It's called removing myself from drama and moving on with what matters to me in my life, my grandmother, my kids, my work. She talks about her Gammy a lot over on X, and Gammy just got better. So I'm glad Gammy's continuing to get better. And in fact, even after I knew about all this way back in May, I still walked up to her at Brandon's trial on day one and asked how she was and said, it's good to see you, because that's what a good person does. When she sent me an apology email, I replied back in a positive way. Hold on. Let me get it forward. But here we can see here that GiGi is telling us that this woman tried to destroy her channel. She doesn't say in what way, but our good girl, our not mean girl. I can't tell you how that burns my chaps that she's out here trying to destroy other female content creators' channels. And we did a video yesterday where Lucy Goosey was telling us, not us, but she was telling a panel that she was striking her channel, and for using her content, for not even using all of her content, just using part of her content. And there's this Fair Play Act that is on YouTube that if you haven't copywritten the content, anybody can use it for commentary uses. Like as long as you add some salt and pepper to it, you can use it. Well, then Miss Lauren went above and beyond and filed a different type of thing where no, she couldn't use it. She couldn't use it. And her channel, I think, was 10,000, and Lauren was what does Lauren have? 100, 200, 300. I don't even know how many they have, but she's a mean girl. Our tragedy pimp, Lauren, tried to destroy Gigi's channel. And negatively, absolutely, it's called removing myself from drama and moving on with what matters to me in my life. My grandmother, my kids, my work. And in fact, even when I knew about all this way back in May, I still walked up to her at Brandon's trial on day one and asked how she was and said, "It's good to see you." When she sent me an apology email, I replied back in a positive way. I do not wish anybody any harm, but me choosing to be the adult and prevent any further drama in my life is fair, which it is. And I get not wanting to be involved in this because she's already been involved in it since the spring. There are two sides to every story, and I could have gone public in May with mine, but in spite of everything that was done against me behind my back, without my knowledge, all while thinking that little connection we had at trials was good, I don't want to be the reason for anybody's downfall. This isn't my problem. But when people are made aware of things said and done against them and choose to quietly walk away instead of airing it out in a public forum, that's not shunning. Well said, GiGi. And professionally said. And I promise you that GiGi is probably the person she is in front of the camera, behind the camera. I mean, I've heard from everybody that GiGi is the same exact person, and I think that's what we're all looking for. So let's head over to the tiki-taki streets and look and see what they're saying over there. I found this clip from Annie Elise, and this is on the situation.
Who used to work for
I'm trying to get it back to the start.
Okay, in the true crime. I have some juicy scoop for you.
Okay, I have a hard time working TikTok too. Like the player always misfires for me, so I'm sorry. I swear I feel like a boomer when I'm over on the tiki-taki streets. I feel like that's Needle King, guys. I'm here. Yeah, GiGi's word is to be believed for sure. So I thought this was an interesting little bit that I found on Annie Elise talking about the situation.
Give it to me.
So a girl who used to work for me, okay, in the true crime circuit, who went to these trials, I found out that she has been messaging with Lori, putting money on her books, pretending to be a Mormon herself, that she's like relating to her on all sorts of levels. I sent her to the first Lori trial, and I never knew any of this. And I just found this out maybe 2 weeks ago. I was so sick to my stomach. Like I couldn't sleep. I was like, because she started messaging her while she was covering the first trial.
And this isn't Lori that or Lauren they're talking about. This is Grayson. It says in here, did you all know Lori Mathias's producer bestie Grayson used to work for Annie Elise, but wait, it gets better. Grayson worked for Annie.
So I don't know if it was like she was fangirl.
I don't know why this isn't letting me click on it very well.
Going over her, or became so fixated she didn't realize like this is real life. She's not a celebrity, because you know how people are like obsessed with Chris Watson stuff too,
Right?
But full on started like a pen pal relationship with her.
So wait, this girl was working for you like with research and stuff, and so how had you already let her go before you found this out?
She left and works with another with a different news company.
Okay. Do you think it could be like a lesbian thing?
No. I think it's more of a fangirl type situation.
And just wanting to get close.
Yeah, and like,
and just being the one that's like, I'm the closest to this woman, and all.
But she's not sharing it with anybody. That's what's so bizarre. She never told me that they were in contact, and this started while she was still working for me.
So how do you message someone?
They have prison portals where it's almost like email.
Oh, but she didn't. But not to your knowledge, has she gone to visit in person?
Not to my knowledge.
And then she gives her money for like the noodles or whatever.
Yeah. Bigger.
Oh my god.
And like created a whole fictitious backstory of her own upbringing. She's not Mormon. She said she like did all of this research trying to relate.
Connect, yeah.
And just bizarre. So bizarre. And she was at this trial covering it too for the new company that she works for.
Crazy.
We're going to listen to this again, but
I'm like, do you have any
want to try to get to the page because
integrity? Like,
no.
Let me do it. Do you guys, it won't let me click on any of the, why will it let me download it though? Let's see what happens if I can open it. Yes, I think I can do it this way. Hold on.
I have some juicy scoop for you, actually.
Give it to me.
So a girl who used to work for...
Okay. Now I got to get back to you guys, and then I will share this page that I downloaded so that I can get it up nice and big, nice and juicy big, because I really want to, this is something new info for me. I don't know if this is new info for you guys, but what she's saying, what Annie Elise is saying, that Grayson, the producer for Lauren, was writing to Lori Vallow, fangirling her and putting money on Lori Vallow's book, pretending to be a Mormon, studying up on how to be a Mormon, and she's no longer working with Annie Elise, and this is Grayson, Lauren's producer. So hold on a second. I'm trying to get it. Something changed with StreamYard recently, and I've noticed other content creators are like feeling like bumbling idiots trying to figure stuff out. Okay. Let's see.
scoop for you, actually.
Give it to me.
So a girl who used to work for me, okay, in the true crime circuit, who went to these trials, I found out that she has been messaging with Lori, putting money on her books, pretending to be a Mormon herself, that she's like relating to her on all sorts of levels. I sent her to the first Lori trial, and I never knew any of this. And I just found this out maybe 2 weeks ago. I was so sick to my stomach. Like, I couldn't sleep. I was like, because she started messaging her while she was covering the first trial. And so I don't know if it was like she was fangirling over her or became so fixated she didn't realize like this is real life. She's not a celebrity, because you know how people are like obsessed with Chris Watson stuff too,
right?
But full on started like a pen pal relationship with her.
So wait, this girl was working for you like with research and stuff, and so how had you already let her go before you found this out?
She left and works with another with a different news company.
Okay. Do you think it could be like a lesbian thing?
No. I think it's more of a fangirl type situation.
And just wanting to get close?
Yeah. And
just being the one that's like, I'm the closest to this woman, and all.
But she's not sharing it with anybody. That's what's so bizarre. She never told me that they were in contact, and this started while she was still working for me.
So how do you message someone?
They have prison portals where it's almost like email.
Oh, but she didn't. But not to your knowledge, has she gone to visit in person?
Not to my knowledge.
And then she gives her money for like the noodles or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like created a whole fictitious backstory of her own upbringing. She's not Mormon. She said she like did all of this research trying to relate.
Connect,
yeah. And just bizarre. So bizarre. And she was at this trial covering it too for the new company that she works for.
Crazy.
Which I'm like, do you not have any integrity? Like,
no.
And yeah, it goes so beyond that too, because she has advocated to be an ally for the two kids, that she has talked with some of the the family members, Kay and Larry, and
the grandparents of the
grandparents.
Boy.
Yes. Sorry, I think I said survivors. Meanwhile, she's messaging Lori. and befriending her. It's so sick. It makes me sick.
I do think that
I am shocked, you guys. I'm shocked. So we know that Gigi's in on this. We know Angela Levy is in on this. We know that now Annie Elise is in on it. Nate Eaton. Those are 4 big people that have already leaked out of from all of this. And I'm sure none of them want to be a part of this. I mean, I'm sure when she told this story, she didn't think that this hidden true crime drama was going to happen. And I can't remember what that woman's name is that is interviewing her. I know she used to be on Chelsea Lately. Can anyone remember her name? I could try to go to her site and see if we could find the whole interview. But I did want to go to this critical true crime with Emily. They're the one that put the Annie Elise up. So I thought we could take a peek through theirs too, because who knows what else we're going to find. Well, this looks like it's a new person on the case, but maybe
I have some juicy scoop for you.
I can manipulate this more now over here. I'm going to play this and see what I can do.
give it to me.
So a girl who used to work for me, okay, in the true crime circuit, who went to these trials, I found out that she
actually look over in the, let me move myself over to the opposite side of the screen. We can look over in comments and see what they're saying in the comments. So, and there's 82 likes, 34 comments, and it says, this was not Grayson, this was Lindsay. So they're saying it's actually not Grayson, it's Lindsay. So it could be either one of these people. And it says, how many trials did Grayson go to? How many trials did Lindsay go to? It could be someone else. How did Annie find out? It's pretty sick, whoever this person is. Love to know who it is. Which one do you guys think it is? Do you think it's Lindsay or do you think it's Grayson? Still strange that, I mean, they both worked for Lauren regardless. So either one. All the podcasters run the risk of blurring the lines with the criminal who made them. They're not all professional reporters. They are just people. Yeah, I think we need to all remember that all of us are just people. You're not below any of these people. I'm not I'm not above you. You're not above me, right? We're freaking people living human experiences, just trying to figure it out. And I think I personally have much more respect for people because I know you're going to make a mistake. I make mistakes too, but I have much more respect for people who, when they make the mistakes, they own it. And I think where people fall short is they think that, like, a lot of people can't apologize. But some people just, they've got their apologies down and they think that's that. Like, I apologized, that's that. No, it goes further than that. It means making amends. It means never doing it again. And that takes time. And for me, when somebody apologizes, I can forgive them. But it's like a conditional forgiveness for me because now I'm watching you. I'm paying attention. My eyes are open. And I move much quicker these days when, like, I will take a forgiveness. I will take an apology. But if you do the same thing again, then to me, it's just lip service. And apologies come easy for you, but you don't know the meaning of them. And I think this is what, like, even GiGi from Pretty Lies and Alibis got an apology from Lauren. But I mean, when you apologize, it doesn't mean that's the end. Am I the only one that feels that way? Does anyone else feel like apologies are just lip service until you, like, prove it? Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm not sure who Christina is. Okay, let me put this up. Christina is the one on the left here. This is Christina. and that's Lauren in the back. And I have a thumbnail, the first live that I ever did that says stalker on it. That one has Grayson on it. So if you guys need me to, I should get I'll work on a thumbnail for you guys, and I'll put all the players up there. Did she already do her live? I know Kesha's supposed to be doing a live today, but I don't think she's done it yet. And I found out Kesha is a relative of Lori Vallows that was once in Lauren's inner circle. And can you guys tell me again what her channel's name is? Because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Kesha has a channel, and she no longer likes Lauren, and she's going to come forward today sometime and tell us exactly what's going on in her orbit with Lauren. Okay, so let me get this back up on stage. And let's keep going. So let's stay over in TikTok, and I thought we could just go and hit a few TikToks and just kind of see what people are saying about the situation, because frankly, that's how I just found the Annie Elise thing. I was just kind of surfing through TikToks, and I thought we could do it. Am I saying her name wrong? Is it Keisha? Am I saying Kesha like the singer? Sorry if I am. Oh, and Sam, welcome to the Dragonflies. Thank you. Oh, wait, you gifted a membership. Sam, thank you for gifting a Dragonfly membership. Helping out little content creators is just like the greatest thing, and I really, really appreciate it. Yes, they were saying that they were putting money on her books. And also, did you pick up the part where they said, like, okay, so I don't know if it's Lynn or if it's Grayson, but did you pick up the part where they said, and then they weren't telling anybody about it? They were like just doing it in private. And then they built this whole Mormon backstory. That's weird. I am going to try to find that content creator and look more into it. I get the feeling there's so much more to come out. Yeah, I do too. I'm mad too. To be fair, many journalists like Nate Eaton and Keith Morrison also messaged Lori. Yes, completely fair. And putting money on their books is not a strange thing. I will say I wanted to interview Joe Exotic, and he messaged me over on Instagram. And he told me if I gave him $200, or was it $100? It was either $100 or $200 for his legal fees. For his legal fees, he would give me an interview. Some people wanted me to do it, others didn't. Other content creators might have been able to do it, but I was much smaller at the time, and I don't have the money to pay to get the stuff yet. When I'm a little bit bigger, I plan on doing all of that. But I mean, there was that. So Dylan Talman from the Watts case, he wanted me to, I don't know, he wanted me to put money on his books too. I didn't. But it is a choice that we all make. It's offered up to us. A lot of times they won't give us the story unless you do something like that. And I look at it too, like jail and prison must be like kind of hell. So I mean, to add a little comfort, I don't know, but I've never done it yet. I'm not poo-pooing it, but what I think is weird is doing it in private, like working for a large, like if I had a producer doing that and not telling me they were doing that, it would be weird when I found out. It would. So that's what I find weird about it. And also like creating a whole Mormon backstory. And now isn't Lauren and Dr. John, aren't they Mormon? Aren't they? I think they are. So now she's living with Mormons. I just assumed Grayson was Mormon, but maybe it's not even Grayson. Maybe it's the other one. So it's one of the producers. Oh, if that's who it is, I did hear Kresha. I was saying Kesha. Sorry, guys. Kresha said something on Alex, something's YouTube's that she felt invisible. She said something on Alex saying on YouTube she felt invisible. Yeah. Like invisible because of the larger content creators. Lauren's Mormon, John isn't. Okay. They went too far with the cult research on Kresha's channel. If it's Kresha, her channel's name. Oh, difficult research. That's it. Difficult research. Let me see. Let me get that up really quick. So this is the channel that we're talking about, and she planned, well, it's been, does it say over in her post? Ooh, she's got some stuff. Let's go through it. Okay, so over here it says, this is J is for justice. This is the statement that I just read you guys for GiGi. So let's see. It's a relevant question. Wondering if HTC will be scheduling over my stream again like they've done many times before and like they did last night. When was this? This was 9 hours ago. Oh. Did John go live? Did he do his live during Kresha's live or something? People are saying it won't matter. We will be watching you. Look at GiGi's statement. This is a pattern for them. Then they use their large platform to silence anyone who tries to call them out. Indeed. Relevant. Hopefully not. I watch both on replay. I rarely catch live. That's the beauty of YouTube on, okay, wouldn't put it past them. Imagine them getting their shovels out to dig deeper. The truth is coming out. She's the bully. So I wonder if they will do a live today when she does hers. Let's see when her live is supposed to be. Does she have it scheduled? Does she have a time where she goes live every Sunday, a regular time? They started that 4-hour edited mess that we went over yesterday. She said 7:30 tonight, but I don't know what time zone. Yeah, I don't know where she lives, but I'm assuming she's more on the West Coast. That's just, I'm assuming. So for me, I'm assuming it'll be like 9-ish, 10-ish tonight. But I'm just guessing. I'm trying to think, use my critical thinking cap. Oh, she's even been with Megan. Interesting. I saw Megan doubling, tripling, quadrupling down today. Somebody asked her if she thought that 9-hour live was excessive. And she's like, no, I don't think it was excessive. What? Are you kidding me? Like, are you blindly following your friends? Because that's doing her no good. Just blindly following her. Does she have anything on this subject over on her channel before we leave? I just want to see real quick. Looks like she's got more in lines of post talking about it. Yeah, she's got John's stuff up there. Dr. John. Long coin. I've got those two sound bits stuck in my head, unfortunately. Long coin. Okay, let's go back over to the TikTok streets and see what they're saying over there. We will be paying attention and doing a reaction. Long Quine. I can't stop myself. I'm even walking around like the house. My little bird, I got a little green cheek that likes to learn new words. I know he's going to be saying long Quine any day now. Long Quine. And whenever I listen for Jay for Justice, she's got those sound bits. She'll every so often throw up the long Quine bit over stuff, and it just makes me laugh. Okay, so let's see what people are saying.
Okay, let's have a chat about Lauren Mathias from Hidden True Crime, right? I find it absolutely fascinating. Like, she's calling the police because no one calls her. Her phone is too quiet. You know what, Lauren? I usually only know stalking victims who complain about how often they have to change their...
Is that the new thing? Can we start calling the police when people don't call us? Like when somebody says something about us and then they decide not to call us, can we call the police? Is that legal? Is that what we're trying to get our state of the universe into? Because I don't want to live in that kind of world. I really don't.
phone numbers because they get harassed by messages and phone calls and everything. And you're literally, I think, the first stalking victim who complains it's too quiet. Like, what is it? A silent harassment? Like someone is harassing me with silence because I don't get phone calls? It is getting so insane. Like, I don't even know where to start with all of this. Okay, so back to square one, because I also had my fair share of run-ins with Lauren. So a few years ago, Lauren and the Hidden True Crime, they covered a case, and she uploaded on her YouTube channel a jailhouse recording of a phone call, and it was obvious it was between the defendant and his lawyer. So this phone call should have never been released to the public, obviously, and it was obvious when you listened to it, you knew exactly what it was, who it was, and, you know, basically you shouldn't have released it. It must have been an accident by the courthouse. And I mean, if you say you're a professional journalist, yeah, and you're so professional, then you would maybe make the courthouse aware of it, or the lawyer, the defendant saying, hey, by the way, they accidentally released these phone calls, which they shouldn't. But she still put it up on her YouTube channel. So I made a post on X, formerly Twitter, and I called her out and said, you know, I don't agree with that one. I think that's not right. What happened was Lauren had a complete meltdown, and she also claimed then being bullied, harassed, and as if it's a torture.
Gosh, it's as if we are looking into the past, into the future, into the present, and we are seeing a pattern.
And I just thought, you know what, Lauren, I'm not calling you every day. I'm not doing anything. There is a post on X, and she wanted me to remove it because I called her out. And I was like, so you're basically torturing yourself, because it seems all you do all day long is like you go on my page and like, is it still there? Is it still here? And you reread the same post and you get annoyed about it. So you're torturing yourself because it's in your mind? Like, back then I was already wondering, like, why is her husband not saying anything to her about, hey, Lauren, how about calm your tits? Okay, so now when you look at the response video...
Lauren, calm your tits, dude.
They uploaded, right? It's actually really interesting because Dr. John is with his stupid Brad Pitt example, yeah, talking about why you should differentiate between what a person does privately and their work, right? But this is exactly why everything goes wrong for Lauren, because she can't. Because for Lauren, and this is actually also interesting, I'm surprised Dr. John doesn't come up with that one, because you actually have people with narcissistic personality traits, or high on the narcissistic scale, right? They have an issue that they can't admit a mistake they made in any way, because they have such a fragile ego and a fragile sense of self that for them it's basically like, oh my God, if I would now admit that I screwed up, then it means I am a bad person or something. And this is exactly what Lauren always says. I'm not a bad person. No, Lauren, but I mean, you can still just...
Interesting. I always find when people say I'm not a bad person, it seems like they maybe are bad people, because like, why do you have to say you're not a bad person? It's just a strange statement to make. And me think that you doth protest too much Amber or Lauren Turd. That's what I've been calling her, Lauren Turd, because they use the analogy of Brad Pitt and Angie, but to me, they are more like Johnny Depp and Amber Turd, this situation, with Lauren being Lauren Turd and Christina being Christina Depp. And if we're going to use analogies and scenarios. And so, but now I might be telling her to calm her tits from now on. I love that. Calm your tits, Lauren.
Over and say, hey, look, I screwed up. What I did was really bad. But it's not what you do. And the whole time today in this video, they were just talking about, yeah, I mean, you admitted faults and stuff. No, she didn't. She was actually constantly just saying, I have no idea what I've did. And that's why so many people come forward now and saying, let me tell you what you did. Because you do not take responsibility for anything. You still say, I haven't got a clue.
She has opened the floodgate. She thought Christina was the problem. I mean, she seems like she has a lot of Christinas in her bullpen. And now all of the Christinas, male, female, whatever, are coming out to say, well, actually, to set the story straight, because, I mean, we're not rewriting history here. In 2025, we're just not doing that, Lauren. We're just not doing that for you.
And I also find it very interesting. Like, so yeah, she's basically talking about these text messages that will get released, but the smallest amount of time she's actually paying attention to what she wrote and maybe her behavior was screwed up. No, main part is, but it's much worse that someone would.
Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because Lauren did a 9.5-hour live and dropped it on my doorstep. And I'm doing it because I have every right to do it. And I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I'm doing it because I'm tired of all the Lauren Mathias in the world getting away with stuff. And I mean, aren't there channels out there that are supporting her? Everybody's welcome here. Everybody is welcome to be here to put in your opinion. But I'm telling you, mine's pretty solid. I see what is. I see what is. And I know there's some other channels out there. Judy Ron. I can't think of her channel name. She's been supporting Lauren. What is her? I can't think. Jai is her name. I can't think of her channel's name. So there's channels out there if you want to go and, do some supporting. But I see a real issue here. I see real mean girl behavior. And when is enough with this? Like, I'm fatigued. I am fatigued from all the BS that's happening in the world. All the people telling me how I should or shouldn't feel, what I should think, how I should feel. Dr. John's 3.5-hour thing shaming me if I didn't feel the same way and basically calling me a criminal element if I thought otherwise. I'm tired. I have my BA in psych soc. I'm a critical thinker. I can think for myself and I see what is. And I have a channel and I'm talking about it. So someone help me off this soapbox. I hate getting up here, but when I get up here, my lungs fill up and I just let loose. So, but I don't like to do that. So let's get back into this.
Release them, which is like, listen, Lauren, as a professional journalist, I don't know, you can have some protected messaging services like Signal or something, just the example, it seems everyone has figured it out by now. It's 2025, right? But she doesn't.
Yes.
And the other thing is, it seems maybe she's.
I do lives in the hopes and prayers that I get views. Yes, that is why I come live. That is why everybody comes live. But yes, that is why I come live.
Trusting people a little bit too quickly and easily, because it seems she didn't even know these people that long and they had access to all of her accounts. I mean,
you know what else I hope I get? Throw this in. If you guys could just reach down there and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, I also hope for subscribers and likes. So if you can just give me some clicks. And if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribed. And that would be wonderful. I do that to come live. I come live for that too.
I'm not sure why she would do that. But anyways, it's quite interesting because her main blame goes towards the person who is releasing my text message is much worse than what I am when I wrote all this shit about other people. So it's like, no, Lauren, maybe just don't write shit about other people in the first place, especially not when it's that horrific. And when you want us to focus on your work instead of what you do privately, well, this is actually your work. Because if you say, oh, you're standing up for victims and you actually trash talk victims, then yeah, it affects your work. This is your work. Or if you try to interfere with other podcasters, this is your work. So no, we get it right. You know, we don't talk about, I don't know how if you have a dispute with your neighbor at home, no one gives a shit about it. We focus on your work and on your reporting.
Like a good point. She's pointing out that they're trying to throw all this shit at the wall, saying that we're doing this, we're doing that, much like that person just did. Like, oh, you're doing it for views. Well, gone are the days that you're going to shame a person for doing what they're obviously doing. Like, I come on here for views. That's what I'm doing. And Lauren is doing her work, and part of her work is protecting victims and working with other creators. Yeah, that's part of what I do. And when a creator friendship might end, I'm silent about it. I've worked with creators out there that I will never work with again, but you guys don't know what I went through or what I did or how I felt during that situation, because I don't bring you every bit and piece of it. And I certainly don't, like, if they continue to text me, even after I've said my friendship is over with you, I don't want any part of it. If they continue to text me, I'm not calling the police saying, oh, they're bothering me, because yes, that's happening in my life. But I don't feel that's not stalking. That's a friendship that's end, and maybe one person's more bitter about it than the other person. But and this is what this is, and it's turned ugly, and it's just blows my mind, like, that people are given the receipts of what a bad friend Lauren is. She's a bad friend. She's the definition of bad friend. She will talk behind your back in an instant, and you still defend her. And so I don't know what to tell you. I feel like it's like there's been enough put out into this atmosphere, onto the TikTok, YouTube streets about her, to make up your mind about her. And if you defend her, I don't know what to think about you. I really don't. I mean, to each their own. And I'm not going to say anything other than that. But I really, my eyebrow, I've got a Lauren Mathias, one of my eyebrows is pointed up at you, because I don't really even know what to think about you. It's out there. And I don't think I can do anything. There's nothing I'm going to be able to say to change your mind at this point. So the only reason you might be in here, I'm thinking, is to cause issues. But we'll see.
Yeah, because it seems the way you report information is not honest and not professional or unbiased at all. That's why we are all focusing on it, yeah? And also pay attention to one really important thing. So if something goes wrong, such as, the text messages might get released, it's definitely someone else's fault. Yeah, it's because the other person shouldn't have screenshotted it and they shouldn't release it. It's much worse. And they bring it out of context, right? It's the other person's fault. But her success is completely just based on her own heart.
Like, you're damned if you do call her and you're damned if you don't. You got to be the right one to call her.
Work, yeah? She considers herself an expert in the daybell. Really? Okay, so let me ask you a question. What have you actually done? You didn't fly with a plane to Hawaii and confront those two and ask where the children were. No, you didn't. You went to a courthouse. And then you sat there in the courtroom, and then you went outside and you said, by the way, that's what we've heard today. Brilliant. That's what shitloads of other people did too. And you know what? The planet wouldn't have stopped rotating if you wouldn't have been there, right? How did you fight for the victims? Like, you weren't the prosecutor, Lauren. You were sitting there on a fucking chair taking notes. That's it. Like, you didn't break something in a case or anything. You didn't find a fucking missing person. Like, nothing. Okay? No one gives a shit, Lauren. Like, you make it sound as if thanks to you, someone got prosecuted. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, thanks for reporting about it. If you wouldn't have...
to point out, he's one of those doctors that uses his first name, like chiropractors and dentists do. Dr. John. I mean, that makes me crook one of my Lauren crooked eyebrows at that too. Like doctors that use their first name. And it's not like he's got a difficult last name. Like usually doctors, they do it because they're a dentist or a chiropractor, or their name's hard to say. But or you're not even a doctor really, because really, is he a doctor? I mean, he's got his doctorate, but he's one of those like that questionable, like, yeah, I guess, you know what? No, I'm going to take the bus back, because if I earn my doctorate, you better believe you'd be calling me doctor. But maybe not all. Nah, I'm not. I don't know. If I earned a doctorate, I would toy with. It would be funny to me to be called doctor. It would be like a joke, but I think I might use it sometimes. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you earned a doctorate, would you use it?
Been there, lots of other people would have done the same. You're not that important, Lauren, and maybe you just don't get it. And the other thing is, it's actually quite rich to say, I'm an expert on the case, on someone else's family tragedy. You know, there are still people alive, living from this family.
We're not letting Christina off the hook today. We are going to go over and look at Christina's TikToks, because Christina went too far. She went too far. Even like when friends share private stuff, like that stuff she shared about her brother's little floaters, swimmers, that's too far. You don't need to share that kind of stuff. When a friend shares personal information like that, but I don't know if it's the social worker in me, because I put stuff like that in the vault. But also I will say that I had a situation where I told somebody's secret, and I learned it in the hugest way never to do that again. And I did it out of anger. I was trying to think, I wanted to tell you guys the story, but I can't even think of what the secret was. It was something about money and a house. And my friend had 2 houses, and her husband was supposed to be paying for one of the houses, and he wasn't, and he had fallen behind. And I got in a fight with this friend, and they were in a band, and I was with one of her bandmates in the car, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to tell the story. This was 15 years ago. I'm going to tell the story. And I told that stupid story, and do you know what happened to me? And this is like, this is when I tell you, when you realize that we are all connected universally, whether you are a follower of Christ or whatever you follow, there is a God out there. There is something higher than us. We are connected. My phone butt dialed her and left that voice message of me telling that story to him on her voice message. That's the kind of shit that happens to me. And so I'm telling you, I learned my lesson from that day. I do not say anything out loud that I would not be willing to say to somebody's face. Lucky for me, I'm willing to say a lot. So, I mean, I will say that. I'm willing to say a lot to people's faces, but never again. Won't do it. And mortified, had to apologize. And to top it off, I had to apologize. And on top of it all, that person had done a lot of shit to me to get me to that point to do what I did. But still, 2 rights don't make a wrong, or 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I was not in the right. And I sucked it up, and I apologized, and I moved on, and I never spoke to that person again. And they went on to trash me and said horrible things about me. From that day, continued to say horrible things about me. And I just ignored it. That's all you can do. But can you imagine if I had called the police? Because that person went on to say not only horrible things, but I had a roommate who died, and they went on to say things like I had killed that roommate. They went on that far. And can you imagine? I did consider calling the police, because I was like, I don't know what to do, because like, what if the police believe this? Like, I was really afraid. I had moved out the week before because I couldn't get along with the roommate, and they died during that week. I was paying for everything, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I had all the utilities shut off, and they died in that week living in that house without any utilities, and they blamed it on me. So I decided, but then the sister wrote me an email and thanked me for giving her a place to live in her final year of living and whatever. So then I decided not to call the police. But crazy stuff happens on the internet. I don't know why I even told you guys that whole story, but the point is that, can you imagine if I had taken it to the point where I said this person was a stalker and we went back and forth when it really was just like a friendship ending. And it's another example of how like women's friendships are weird, aren't they? Aren't they weird? We do weird things, and hopefully we learn and grow. And this was when I was in my 30s. I wouldn't do it now. So I guess this was 15 years ago. So I wouldn't 20 years ago. Wow. I wouldn't do that kind of stuff now, but it's like, I don't see how Lauren can see it more than what, and how it can be more than what it is. And when Dr. John, I saw a lawyer say the other day, she felt like Dr. John was the one that encouraged Lauren to go to the police. Like he was seeing all of this and doing it through like his psychology degree or whatever. And that Lauren really truly didn't share the full story with him. So now she's in this situation where they have blown it so out of proportion that, you know, the entire internet's in on this, and that Lauren probably hasn't even shared the full story, and that it got to the police stage because of Dr. John. What do you guys think about that? Law and Christina wasn't a whistleblower immediately, though. She only came to light after Lauren said she didn't need her art anymore. That was the first sign of vengefulness, in your opinion. I feel like Christina was tired of seeing Lauren do this to person after person after person. So she created this smaller TikTok account. She didn't even put on her large art account. She created this smaller account to blow off steam. And like, if anyone comes across it, fine. She never put Lauren's name in there. She never did. So like, if people know, they know. If they don't know, they won't know what they're watching. And Lauren couldn't take it, because this girl's saying that Lauren basically did the same thing. Like, she was a small account. Lauren couldn't take it. She like lost her mind.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel if someone else would say, I'm an expert in your family's tragedy. I would be like, really? Oh, thanks. Wow, great. Like, how weird is that? Like, you're an expert in a case. So tell me, what do you know what no one else does? What do you know what not even the family members know? What evidence do you know about?
I think that if you don't get all the information, your heart might break for her, but there's been other content creators that have filled in the gaps. Lauren didn't bring all the information in that shockingly 9-hour live. She left holes that you could drive trucks through. So my suggestion to you is to just bounce around the internet and try to fill in the gaps. We've done it the last 3 or 4 days, talking about Lauren and the true story of what's happening here. And many other content creators are doing the same. I am going to, after we leave the TikTok streets, go over to a lawyer's channel and see what legally they're saying about this situation. Danny, this channel here, Danny and Direct is one of the channels. And then we're going to also, I've been hearing a lot about the Joe Schmo interview, and I finally want to take a look at that. I haven't watched it all myself. So let's finish watching her, and then we'll do that. Yeah, I think she does have a degree in journalism, but she's not currently a journalist. She's an ex-journalist. I don't think she has her credentials still.
But not even the police knows about. So tell me about this. What is your absolute secret that makes you an expert? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So maybe come down from your fucking high horse and realize who you actually are. You were a TV anchor. Okay, brilliant, fine, great. Then you were a stay-at-home mom and you got bored and you started a fucking YouTube channel. That's what it is. You're basically a blogger, a YouTuber. That's it. And also, Lauren, you said you're so proud of your hard work in the Daybell case.
No big deal. It's like what I'm doing. It's like what half of you guys are doing. It's just, I mean, it's exciting, and I'm not trying to negate if you're doing it, because I am very proud of my channel, but you can do it too. Anybody can do it.
Right? So I was just wondering, what did you actually do? I mean, there are journalists out there, they actually report in war zones, they risk their lives, or some other people who actually confronted people face to face. You, on the other hand, you said you did join Facebook groups about the Lori Vallow Daybell case. Wow. Okay, so let me summarize it for you, Lauren. You were a stay-at-home mom in front of your laptop. You did join some Facebook groups and then reported about what so-and-so posted in the Facebook groups. So that's the work you're so proud of in your career as a journalist? Wow. I mean, just think about this. You opened your completely arranged, unhinged, now 9-hour live stream by saying you're going to own your narrative. Well, did you ever consider that maybe the victims or family members of like crime victims also want to own their narrative? Like, I mean, what's the difference? Just asking, And when you say, how can other people say it's entertaining, the suffering of my family? But you literally base your whole career about reporting about this, reporting about the suffering of people. And you know what? You think that would be hard to testify about stalking, bitch?
Rules for thee, but not for me, Lauren Turd.
By the way, isn't even stalking, okay? I think you are actually the stalker in this whole thing, because it seems you stalked the other girls more than what they did to you. Anyways, what do you think?
I'm like a freaking dog with a bone, and it's feeding me this week. Nom, 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 nom. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay.
When people have to testify about traumatic events, someone tried to kill them, or someone SA'd them, right? Guess what? This is really hard. Or how people had to find their slaughtered family members or something. Yeah, they get broadcasted all over the fucking planet. This is hard. And you think it's somehow harder to talk about that someone uploaded a TikTok video? And by the way, she didn't even say your name. Like, you're so unhinged. It's absolutely madness.
Yeah, it is mean girl behavior on both ends. Although I do give Christina a little more credit just because of the fact that A, she's younger, B, she feels like she was slighted. I would not have done what Christina did. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't make TikTok videos about it. It's just not like the thing that is for me. But I can certainly understand why she felt like this was the only recourse she had.
You complain about it. You felt shunned. I'm not sure if you have really thought this through. Like, you just absolutely trash talk law and crime, right? And I know somehow you managed to unite people all over the internet to just completely dislike you. I mean, I think the last time someone managed to do that was actually Meghan Markle. And you remind me quite a lot about this, because she also tries to sue everyone who doesn't like her and who says that she's unlikable. Oh my God, let's sue someone. I mean, maybe you should team up with her or something, But the other thing is, like, I even find myself agreeing with people where I never thought I would agree with them ever. But at least, somehow we all figured out that you are definitely, I can't even say it out loud, like, beep, I'm just saying. And if you thought it was uncomfortable for you before to go into a courthouse or crime con because you felt shunned, Lauren, I'm not sure if you realize what you have brought onto yourself. I don't know how you ever want to set a foot into a crime con event without getting actually shunned by everyone, because you thought the worst thing in your life would be that someone uploads TikToks where they don't even name you. Like, I can't believe it. Like, do you look at the complete shitstorm you have right now? I can't believe it. You know what? No one would have paid attention to this TikTok account. Like, this is so ridiculous, but you literally made it go viral. You know what I find one of the most concerning aspects of...
That's the irony in it, is that she literally made this all go viral herself. Like, she took the narrative back in her hands and she went viral with this.
The whole thing. you have someone who has apparently a PhD in psychology, right? And he doesn't stand up and say enough is enough and at least gets Grayson out of this whole situation. Grayson is so young. Why does this video actually look like a hostage video, right? And this weird enmeshment between Lauren and Grayson, what's even happening here? There is no professional boundary, it looks like. Like, what is going on with those guys? Like, she is not a carer for Lauren, but it seems that's her new role now, the protector. And why does someone with a PhD in psychology call a 24-year-old young woman who should be a producer of a podcast and is basically putting the responsibility onto her to take care of Lauren, yeah? She's in a very bad cuckoo place. Like, what on earth is even going on? Like, you're the psychologist, like, take care of your wife, yeah? Don't put it on a 24-year-old. And just to see how paranoid Grayson got. Blimey, you know what? I can't believe it. I hope she sues you at some point for emotional damage done to her.
Do you think that would possibly happen? We're watching Human Sea Nugget over on TikTok. Everything that we view, I will put down in the YouTube show notes for you guys. So if you want to go find it yourself, you can, or if you want to watch it in its entirety without me talking over it, you can do that. So you guys know that Turtle
then is going to be
has been on the case. So let's take a quick peek at what he's saying.
the reply. Yep, hold on.
I'll be right there. Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
By my attorney. I actually have many attorneys now. I have 4 attorneys now. We're not taking this lightly for civil stalking.
Did she just say she has 4 attorneys? Is that what she just said? This is a really serious issue. I'm really mad.
Okay, ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. In this county, where the stalking charge is filed, Utah County, it is exactly.
I couldn't get my thing to stop. I don't know if this has been confirmed. I think Lauren just was being like dramatic and said that her son is malnourished from all of this or isn't eating, and and that's a whole other thing. I don't like to talk about people's kids. Like when we talk about Sarah Boone, we never talk about the son's name or anything like that. And I really, kids should be off limits. And I've heard these things about where she took a walk-in closet and built a little playroom for him right by her studio, which did she like soundproof it so that he can't hear all this talking about true crime and death and what happened to JJ and Tylee, and just, I mean, that's concerning to me. My first job as a social worker, I was a foster care social worker, and that damaged me for life. The stuff that people do to kids is so, like, I don't want to know. I wish I didn't know these things. I guess it's how I can talk about true crime so easily, but man, it's damaging. I can't even imagine having your kid. I hope that's not true. But someone said there was a picture of him sitting in the closet next, but I don't know. So that's a whole other ball of wax.
Where Charlie Kirk was.
Oh,
when he was assassinated.
Oh my God.
People wondered why I haven't talked about
there it
case.
is.
First off, there's only 3 of us and we can't hit every case. Very heartbreaking case. But secondly, that is in this area and it's about a public figure who was stalked. And you know what? It scares me. That scares me. I am scared.
I'm scared.
And that was a very overwhelming case. And I have yet to cover that case.
It's like she's gonna, because it's in
the foster care system, and it was the foster care system in Detroit. It was the things I know that people do to kids. It's just horrible.
the same county. I'm gonna be. It's in the same county as Charlie Kirk. I'm really upset about this. My eyebrows are not moving at all. You can tell how mad I am about this, right? Oh yeah, I'm really upset. Charlie Kirk, they killed him in this county, so statistically, I am much more likely to be assassinated in this county.
So this one then is going to be the reply. Yep, hold on.
I'll be right there. Hold on, don't go anywhere.
By my attorney. I actually have many attorneys now. I have 4 attorneys.
How does she afford 4 attorneys? That's like, wow. Now we know why they need all these super stickers and stuff, where all the money's going to. What a waste of money. What a waste of money. What I could do with all of that money, right? What could you guys do with all that money? I would not give it to a lawyer.
No, we're not taking this lightly for civil stalking.
Did she just say she has 4 attorneys? Is that what she just?
Eyebrows drawn on because Lauren has her eyebrows done. Like, I won't be shamed either for talking about her eyebrows, because I feel like I am so fatigued with people putting things right in front of my face and me being shamed for talking about what I'm seeing, when it's not like, it wasn't like she was born with weird eyebrows. Like, she did that to herself, and we're supposed to not see it. I'm just over it, you guys. I'm over being told how I should like not do things, but yet they're allowed to do them. Like, keep your mouth shut, let me be, but you cannot be. I'm over it. And I think a lot of people are.
Said this is a really serious issue. I'm really mad.
Okay, ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. In this county where the stalking charge was filed, Utah County, it is exactly where Charlie Kirk was
Oh,
when he was assassinated.
oh my
People
God.
wondered why I haven't.
All right, I had to watch this a few times. I've been talking over it. Okay, so this is the part where she compares herself to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk.
Talk about
there
that
it
case.
is.
First off, there's only 3 of us, and we can't hit every case. Very heartbreaking case. But secondly, that is in this area, and it's about a public figure who was stalked. And you know what? It scares me. That scares me. I am scared.
I'm scared.
And that was a very overwhelming case. And I have yet to cover that case.
Do you think maybe that's part of the problem, is that she is bringing these other cases that she's covering and she's already afraid, and she's like bringing these Christina fears in, and the fears are just mounting and building? I mean, like, I'm always trying to find a reason why people act crazy like they do. And do you think there was already low level fear building in this woman's life, and why?
Has anybody else seen Lauren Mathias from Hidden and True Crime? I can't stay silent anymore. I'm being stalked and bullied and fear for her safety. 9-hour live stream. I finally just got through it and finished it. And now
I think he's already been, this is all, you guys, this is all my research, everything that I've heard around the streets, so I urge you to go out there, and I don't have anything to show you to prove this, but I have heard that he was reported. And I mean, I promise you that his license is being reported. They're calling CPS. I'm sure they have a CPS case on them now. They've got the eyes of the world on them, and I can't believe they doubled down on it. Do you think they're going to triple down on it tonight when Kresha goes live?
YT is like on fire with other creators covering it. You don't know. Basically, she's like a pretty decent sized YouTuber. They have like 300,000 followers. She covers true crime. She covers trials. And her husband is a forensic psychologist.
Us, millennial, I just get that feeling that if this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you, Lauren, you've had it really easy. And gone are the days of Karen pedestals. Like, I feel like we've all collectively taken our feet and just knocked it down, because like, I am tired. I'm tired of it. I've gone through too much in the last few years. You ask why I'm doing it? Because we all got a Lauren Mathias in our life, and we're tired of it.
Believe. So they'll do videos going over different crimes and things. Well, allegedly for like the past year, she has been being allegedly stalked and harassed by an ex-employee and friend. And she had pressed charges, filed restraining orders, and like...
Millennial, I am looking for content creators that want to talk. I asked Amber yesterday and she said she might be interested. So maybe I'll like contact both of you and we could maybe get a panel together, because I'm really interested in what other content creators have to say about this as well.
everything, okay? Until I guess she was about to have a court hearing, and Law and Crime signed up for the media release to be in the courtroom and was going to live stream it or did live stream it. I don't know if they actually.
So what happened was it was recorded. The two that were in the little part that went on, they were recorded. And I think Dr. John realized that it wasn't going to go how he wanted it to go. So they took it out of the courts and then went into the YouTube and ticky-tack streets. Okay, so let's go away from here. And I want to come over and get our legal hat on and talk about cry bully or genuine victim. Lauren and John, Hidden True Crime strikes back. She goes through the court hearing that happened, and then she also goes into Dr. John's summit on the porch. That's Chris Watt, sorry. Summit on the wherever he did his summit, not in the hotel room, but we're going to do that. So, but we do have a sponsor for today's show. I am so happy to say that WILD Deodorant is our sponsor. Something wicked smells good this way comes. It's not me, not in my crypt. I'm rocking WILD Deodorant, aluminum free, refillable, and built for a spooky season freshness that lasts all day and night. You can go to shopwildrefill.com/parawomen, use code parawomen, and save 20% off your first order. Stay wild, stay fresh, and don't ghost your hygiene. For gosh darn sake, don't. And I have the link. Oh, no, I don't. Sorry. I thought I had it linked up there. Let me grab the link for you, and I will put it in the chat, and I will also put it in the YouTube show notes. Thank you, WILD, for supporting us, and thank you guys if you decide to support us as well. I use it, and I've tried out a few products before I brought you this product, and it really works. I'm a sweaty Betty, and it works for me. Okay, let's get back into it. This is Danny O. Direct.
So it may be in there. Do I still think, someone asked me, do you think that a stalking injunction was warranted? Okay, needed, necessary. I think that was the question. Do you think that a stalking injunction at this point was necessary? My answer to that is it depends. If you're going to go forward with a defamation lawsuit, then yes. Yeah, absolutely. Throw down the stalking injunction. Get her to shut up for a minute so that you have time to build a case against her and to stop any progress of defaming, and then move forward with advertising your channel. This could have been a win-win for her. She could have gone forward as a PR stunt.
I didn't see, I forgot we were going to look. We'll look at her TikToks at the end if we have time, but I didn't see rage in her TikToks. I saw, like, she was really hurt. Christina really thought that Lauren was her friend, and she was just really hurt. And we've been talking about these power imbalances with content creators and people that are slight fangirls. You have to be careful because there is a power imbalance. Anybody that befriends me through my channel, I'm very careful of, because I know that some people just want to be a part of it. And, you have to kind of realize that there is that power imbalance. And I think Lauren knew about the power imbalance, and I think she used it. She's one of those people that used that imbalance to her benefit and used the people until she didn't, had no more use for them. And that's what happened.
On the one hand, and said, I'm a victim, oh, help me, right? I know this is okay. You saw optimistic, kind Danny before. Now you're seeing legal, mostly very cynical Danny in this stream. Okay. The cynical side of me says, go for it, play victim, even if you don't really feel in fear of your life, go for it, play it up, get the subs, get the attention, get the views that you want. And at the same time, put a stop on whatever this person is doing to defame you.
It's so strange how a person can actually look like a cartoon character. It's so strange to me, but he does look like Peter Griffin. It's wild.
So that's what I would have advised. That became abundantly clear after watching her stream with her husband and reviewing some of the declarations was not the case. Now, kudos to her attorney, who it turns out is not her brother. I thought she said that it was her brother, but maybe she just mentioned her brother is an attorney, but that is not her attorney for this case. So in this case, her attorney built a pretty dang good motion to enforce, drafted a pretty good motion to enforce, drafted a really great petition. So it actually was pretty good, pretty smooth sailing based on what we watched last time.
And I stand corrected. I thought what had happened was that the judge dismissed it, but he held it in place, this order, and it was our Lauren that decided to pull it. So that's interesting.
Okay. As I said, when we get into court, I'm the legal person. I'm not if you're looking here for tea to be spilt, I'm not it. Okay. I'm not here to fuel rumor mills, etc. I'm here to focus on the law. I focused on the law last time. I told you guys what the law in Utah was. I told you what the standards were. And I told you that there was a chance she might get an injunction, and it may be appropriate for the purposes of avoiding any further deep emotional distress, which she claimed she had. Now, the original claim, the insinuation that you want to take your brother's semen and that this is being done against your brother's will, that is emotionally upsetting. That is emotionally distressing.
All right. That's Peter Griffin, you guys. And they are saying that's who John looks like, which I see it. I see John and Peter Griffin. And this is a picture of John. John, Peter Griffin. John, Peter Griffin. John, this is Dr. John as a pirate. Dr. John's a pirate. Arg. My wife's a hottie. I even missed that part. I feel like he, in his 3.5 hour thing, he fatigued me. He fatigued me, and all the good stuff was at the end, and I kind of missed all the good stuff. So I am going to go back and have a rewatch party for the last hour of that. Not right now, but later today or tomorrow, because I feel like he fatigued me, and all the good stuff was at the end. And I was watching more bits and pieces of it yesterday, and I was like, hey, I missed that. I missed the part where he talked about Lauren when he was doing the thought experiment, and he was calling Lauren Victoria, and Victoria was one of the prettier girls in the class. I totally missed that part. But anyway, getting back to this.
Those who are wondering, you only need 2 to get yourself a temporary ex parte stalking injunction.
So she's saying that you only need 2 incidences, and someone else read it that it was like kind of like a come one, come all. You have to prove very little to get a stalking, a temporary stalking, because then they're supposed to do it pretty fast. Like they let this woman go a month with this stalking order, which was pretty outrageous, and wanted her to go longer without it being proven.
Which is what she was awarded. Now, as I said, it's a 50-50 chance whether or not it sticks and becomes permanent. It depends on what is called an evidentiary hearing. That is where the respondent who's been served with this injunction gets to respond. They get to bring in declarations. They get to bring in evidence, and they get to say, I'm not a freaking stalker. I'm not stalking anybody. I also mentioned last time that I was very deeply concerned that this might be used as a tool to silence creators who you don't like, that this might be used as a tool to get you to silence people. You remember I mentioned that on the last stream. I said, I have some free speech concerns.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up, because I always wondered where that semen story came from. I don't doubt that a lot of what they have said is now getting twisted. That's the nature of the beast that happens. And so I'm always happy to figure out where that arose. And I think, talking about your brother, like I said, I think Lauren told her that story in confidence, and I don't think it should have ended up on TikTok at all. But should she be arrested for doing that? No. Do I think she's a horrible, a bad friend for doing that type of thing? And would I ever trust Christina with any of my personal information? No. Would I trust Lauren with any of them? No. Who would I pick to be a friend over the other two? I think I would pick Christina, because Christina might tell my personal information, but she's not been proven to totally trash me behind my back. But would I want either one of these as a friend? No. Make better choices. And you should be able to end a friendship too. Lauren should have been able to end a friendship, but also Lauren shouldn't have been doing all that bullshit. So where does the right and wrong start and end?
Apparently the judge did too. Let us jump into the hearing, and then I will take a look at the opposition, and then we will take a look at Lauren and John's.
I keep saying that. Lauren should not have told these people that she just met all those highly personal information. Get some good friends and tell them, right? Tell your best friends that will keep it in the vault. I know, most of us have those, and if you don't, get one. You need one. And if it's not a friend, a family, somebody, or your dog, I don't care. But don't tell somebody you just meet.
Come back, strike back, whatever. What is it that they call it? Hold on. I don't know. We speak out after the 9-hour live. I didn't know more speaking needed to be done, but apparently it did. So let us look at the law, and then we will move over to my feelings. Okay. Feelings matter. Let me tell you, feelings matter when it comes to legal work.
And I think we all need to realize that if you don't want to be judged, we've got to stop judging others. But also we come from a very judgmental era and time. I mean, look at the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And, judgment was all there was. And so there's a lot of people recovering from being judged and judging. And so, we do have to give grace to people. We're all coming in, learning a new way of life. Life is not the same, and it's changing quicker every day. So I give people a lot of grace, I think. But I do think that, like I've said over and over again, I am fatigued from these type of people. And I don't feel like I have to co-sign their behavior anymore. Maybe 10 years ago, yeah. But there is something happened around COVID for a lot of people. And a lot of us just woke up to the BS that is the world. And I'm just not playing along anymore. So you can play along. And I won't trash you for it, but don't judge me and belittle me and make me feel guilty for what I'm doing, because I'm literally over here in my house in Florida, not hurting a soul, just talking about information that was brought to me by them. So
sometimes you get the feeling something, it's just some things don't pass the sniff test. This is one of those cases that doesn't pass the sniff test, in my opinion.
Does not.
And now I understand why she dropped this case. And I'm now intrigued as to why she didn't pursue a defamation lawsuit.
Because it's expensive.
I have questions. Let's get into it.
But
Let's start with the court hearing.
I know.
Let's go ahead and share this. Now, apparently, this court hearing did happen. It was an evidentiary hearing. Allegedly, based on what the attorneys say, and we'll see that here in just a moment, allegedly, I
worry about Gen Z. I just saw this TikToker who was a door dasher and walked up to this man's door, and it was a no contact delivery. All she had to do was put the food down at his door, take a picture, and slowly or quickly walk away. But she didn't do that. She walked up to the door. I guess the door was cracked open. She put the food down and opened the door a little bit more, angled herself to the left, and saw this man who was on his couch. And, you know, it looked like the man probably had a wild night, and he probably got a little too tipsy and drank. And she saw that he had his pants, including his underwear, down around his ankle, and he was asleep on the couch, which to me says he was probably passed out on the couch. He probably came home from drinking and partying, ordered DoorDash, was going to maybe rub one off, and then passed out waiting for DoorDash, but left his door open, or, you know what, I don't know, like the door was cracked open. And then this DoorDasher comes in, and do you know what she has the nerve to say? That she was SA'd. She took a picture of him, sent it to DoorDash. DoorDash blocked him because her story was that, you know, he left the door open so she could see him, and he, you know, was flashing her or whatever. He was passed out flashing her. And then she goes further and takes it to TikTok and puts a picture of him naked, passed out in his own house behind a door that was open, cracked open, and says she SA'd him. Well, then TikTok fired her after she did that. And she's on TikTok screaming and crying that she was SA'd and now fired because of it. Like, that's screwy. That is really screwy. That is not SA. And this is not stalking.
Okay. Allegedly, the respondent, Christina, her attorney had written to John and Lauren's attorney, saying, I would like an extension. Okay. Can you give us some more time? Can we please get a continuance, is what it's called. In the state of Utah, I have my rules of Utah civil procedure. It mirrors the federal procedure, so it's fine. One of the first main rules is if someone asks for a continuance, you should grant them liberally. Okay. Rule to the judge, rule to attorneys. If someone's asking for more time, generally speaking, you should give them more time. Now, an unspoken and unwritten rule is when someone says, no, I'm not going to continue the hearing, and then later comes back and asks for a continuance, you say, go F yourself. This is an unwritten rule in practice here. So let's go ahead. Apparently, that's what happened here. Christina's attorney asked for a continuance. The other side said, Lauren's attorney said no, allegedly. And then Lauren's attorney needed a continuance. And the other side said, go F yourself, politely, respectfully. And so here we are on an evidentiary hearing when it was scheduled. And Lauren's caught flat-footed saying, wait a second, we haven't had time to go through their exhibits and go through and fight their exhibits. Well, you have time now. Call them to the stand. There's a few rules and a few legalese that I'll explain as we go along. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to...
Grayson just needs to go home. Maybe find a new job. And I think she probably will. I can't see how that unit of Grayson, Lauren, and John can sustain much longer. I mean, maybe they'll be doing some trauma bonding, or they've already done trauma bonding, so maybe they'll be doing some more. But I mean, I'm even worried for Lauren and John's marriage. I don't know how it can even sustain this. So
skip through a lot of this. Again, the merits of the case, I'm only interested in to a degree. So let's keep going.
It's just not right.
Someone's correcting me in the chat. Sheesh, I missed the part.
You shouldn't be putting your children in that position at all.
where someone got to her phone, I was understanding that others shared their own screenshots. So that's what I understood from reading one of the declarations. Emil C. gifted 5 Danny on direct memberships. Everybody say, thank you, Emil. Emil, I bless you that you don't get in an accident with any other truck drivers who should not be licensed.
I mean, she could have some borderline personality disorder. For me, borderline people are people that I run so fast from. It's so hot. My mom is I believe a borderline, and I know how to spot them. And yeah, she does. My degree is in psych social. I don't feel comfortable diagnosing people, but she does display more borderline traits than not.
So when I read through her declaration, it seemed to imply that she had her phone surreptitiously taken from her, or that it was obtained surreptitiously. If they are screenshots, then that they're screenshots. Here's the problem. Everything is so goddamn vague in everything that she says. I honestly, genuinely do not know. And I apologize for cursing if that offends you. This might not be the channel for you. I will try my best. I am trying to be more kid-friendly.
Everything somehow is related back to them. Everything that everybody else does somehow is related back to them.
Now that I have a kid. She admits that
her family probably revolves around Lauren and what Lauren does, I'm guessing.
She wasn't hacked or anything. She admits it in Fort police report. Okay, another word of advice to everybody out there. Attorneys, opposing counsel, will read through everything. It's their job. Okay, that's what you pay them to do. Judges typically don't. They skim. They do lots of skimming. They will read through your motion. If they have questions about one of your exhibits, they will go and look at the exhibit. But generally, by and large, they won't say sure. They aren't going to go digging in it. Okay.
I'm currently looking for some moderators. I don't really have any mods right now. So if you're interested in moderating, let me know. It's hard for me to follow the chat and also listen to what she's saying fully. So if anything gets said in chat, just know that chat doesn't necessarily represent me, and I don't represent chat right now. I do try to keep it comfortable for everybody. So if there's any problems, just try to flag it for me, you guys.
I also am not going to go digging in it because I have a newborn baby. I have priorities. My priority right now is my baby and making you guys happy by giving you this genius analysis based on what matters. Okay. What matters here is apparently
I'm going to pop it forward so that we can get into it.
Or sometimes 5:50. He would call, and we're going to skip again. I really needed to download.
So how much time are you anticipating? That's
hours.
Hours.
How many hours?
9 hours.
At least 3.
Well,
on your case in chief? Yeah. Mr. Duncan.
Went on Lauren's timeline. She took 9 hours. I'm sure Christina probably wouldn't have needed 9 hours because she did a 9 hour and somebody tallied up Christina's and her TikToks came up to about an hour. So we're going to need about 10 hours, Your Honor. 10 hours.
So we were prepared today because of the short time frame to proceed primarily by proffer. We understood that that's
okay. Let's explain some terms. Proffer means my client has already submitted their affidavit. It's already been filed. So if they are called to testify, like they're already filing their testimony under penalty of perjury. By proffer means the attorneys get to submit that testimony as though they were sitting there on the stand, and then they get to kind of wing it. They get to stand there and say, my client said this and this and this and this. Now, going by proffer is great so long as you don't misrepresent the testimony. Because remember how I said, I take it back a little bit. Remember how I said that judges don't go through and look at every single piece of evidence? That's not entirely true. Usually when they expect to have a by proffer hearing like this one, where it's only an hour long, they will at least read through the declarations, which are the affidavits, the sworn affidavits, their testimony, okay, the witness's testimony. They will at least read through those in the police report.
I just popped up my email if you want to email me if you're interested at all in being a mod. It's running across the banner, across the screen for you guys.
Prior to these hearings. Because one, they need to know what they're talking about, the evidence. And two, they are kind of testing the honesty and reliability of these attorneys. I once was giving testimony by proffer. I swore I had included in this declaration that was filed with the court, my client.
Many, many hours. of Lauren just going at it. I am positive that Christina's lawyered up and Christina's lawyer has told her to stay quiet, because we haven't heard anything from Christina. And that tells me that Christina is wanting to, well, I hope that Christina is doing something. What do you guys think? Do you think Christina's got a lawyer and that this is going to be a problem? I did get, I gathered from Dr. John that they didn't like what Nevada had to say, their court system. So he talked like they were planning on taking it to a different, no, it wasn't Nevada. Sorry, it was Utah. They didn't like Utah's court system. So I wonder if they plan on taking it to Utah or maybe even Colorado, where CrimeCon was. Which state do you think they're going to go to? If they're not going to do it in Utah, where are they going to go?
Saying XYZ. Looking back on it, I hadn't included that. And there was a reason why, but that reason had changed prior to the hearing. And we didn't have time to amend the declaration or the affidavit to submit an amended or supplemental declaration that said XYZ thing. So I tell the judge, well, my client says this. And he goes, quickly, credit to the opposing counsel, says, objection, Your Honor, that's nowhere in any of the declarations. And I go, what? No, yes, it is. And I go through and I read through the declaration and I go, I am so sorry, Your Honor. This is when I was still a baby attorney. I said, I'm so sorry, Your Honor. You're absolutely right. Opposing counsel is correct. It was not said in there. Please strike it from the record. Please forgive me. And you know what? I bought for myself 20 times more credibility in that moment than all of the attorneys who mischaracterized their client.
It was this lawyer that said that she thought that this is all Dr. John's doing, that Dr. John encouraged Lauren to take this to the courts, and that it was a bad choice, but she does put this on Dr. John's shoulders.
Testimony by proffer. So that is how we do these hearings. It's for expediency. It's for there's a lot of reasons, primarily expediency for both the attorneys and the judge, and frankly for our clients. It costs a lot of money to sit there for hours and to listen to testimony and have a mini trial. And it's pausing again. This is great. Thank you. Welcome.
What's going to happen today, given the short amount of time? Brief opening statement, proffer the witnesses, some cross-examination in a hurry, and then be out. We are prepared to accordion to the court's convenience on this. Certainly, if the other side's entitled to 3 hours, we'd ask for parity. But we think that you could do it substantially less.
It's for me. She's either going to ruin the career or make them even bigger, because apparently they've lost some subs. But I've watched these lives and these video premieres, and they're getting lots of money, which, I mean, sure, now they're getting lots of money, but I think maybe that money will diminish as time goes on. They're getting their payday now, but is it their final payday?
It just depends on how they want to do it.
Really well spoken.
Okay.
I have a suggestion, Your Honor. Pending before the court is our ex parte motion to enforce the temporary substocking injunction. Perhaps if we proceeded to resolve that motion, that may resolve the entire matter. In other words, I guess what I'm saying is perhaps we can...
Oh, I know they are. I've worked in the field. I've worked with a lot of psychologists, messy. And, a lot of people go into psychology to learn about their own ish, and so, yeah. I got a degree and I'm a messy person. I've lived a pretty wild life, you guys. I've lived on the edge. I say it all the time. Thank God I'm a Gen Xer and there were no videos around when I was Gen X age or Gen Z age, Messy girl here. I lived on the edge for many years, and my background is in psych soc. So true story, true statement, I should say.
Achieve what we need to by simply ruling on that motion, and then if it's granted, then that resolves the issue, and if it's not, then we can, I guess, readdress and plan at that point.
Mr. Dunkelberger?
That's the tail wagging the dog, Your Honor. I mean,
Okay, so what her attorney is asking for, Lauren's attorney. By the way, the person who uploaded the docket, was that you, Sleuthy Goosey?
It could be a cash grab. I know that a lot of YouTube creators are experiencing, YouTube recently changed some stuff in their algorithm, and it's hitting a lot of our content me personally, I was up to, I don't have a problem telling people how much I make. I was up to almost $500 a month on YouTube. And this month it'll be like $180. Like, they have changed the algorithm, and I've taken a huge hit, and a lot of content creators are taking a hit because of the algorithm. So it could be content creation is a struggle all the time. You know, you're up, you're down, you're all around, and you got to go with the flow, and you've got to learn to change your content up. You got to listen to your audience. And you know what else you got to do? You got to not talk about people behind their backs. And also, when you get victims on your channel, not talk about them too. I mean,
someone had uploaded the docket. Thank you for that. I don't want to spend the 5 cents per document, because the court system charges you like 5 to 25 cents, depending on like what your amounts, whatever your plan is. So thank you for doing that. Yes, ma'am. Oh, God bless you, Sleuthy Goosey.
Yeah.
I say thank you, Sleuthy Goosey.
Right.
This is brought to you by.
Right. There's a difference. I've lived on the edge and had fun, and I'm older now, much more calm and relaxed. You know, youth does put a little pep in your step and whatever. But yeah, I mean, Lauren's of that age where she needs to calm her ass down and stop this behavior and grow up and become the professional that she's like screaming to the world that she is. But then behind closed doors, she's not. I don't trust anybody that will talk about other people. Like I said this yesterday, when people start talking about other people to me, I go immediately to thinking, what are they saying about me when I leave? And you better think about that when anybody else, unless it's your close friend and you got that relationship where you can just say whatever, right? We all got those people. But if it's just a pretty new person and you hear this new info about somebody that I really don't even know, or it's somebody that a common friend, my antenna goes straight up. That's Psych 101.
Sleuthy Goosey. So
Sense 101 too.
It's kind of what I do. Well, you're kind of amazing. And I hope that you help me on other cases and I can reach out to you. So here's what happened. Lauren's attorney, after the alleged violation of the temporary stalking injunction, filed a motion to enforce the stalking injunction.
Much. Thank you so much for gifting Betsy Sue. Just call me Betsy says gifted $1.99 and says 182 now. Thank you. I was just I'm a very dramatic person. And thank you so much for doing that. But you guys, whenever you do anything a little added and extra for my channel, it just really does excite me. But it excites me, all these new subscribers that we have too. Thank you guys for subscribing. We hit 8K last night. I woke up to 8K. I was like doing a little happy dance this morning. So we hit 8K. Welcome to all the new subscribers and the old ones. You know I love my OGs. So thank you guys. Thank you to everyone.
Which tells the court, it moves the court, and it says, hold on, where's my maracas? These are my crazy maracas. Pretend this is the judge. Judge, you granted this. That means you believe in it. So enforce it, gosh dang it. Hold them in contempt and send them to jail, straight to jail. Okay? That's what was filed after the alleged violation of.
This is where I think people go a little too crazy talking about his education, but I can see why, like, they've opened up this can of worms where they're going to dig into every square inch of these people. And I would not want that in my life either. Like, I hate doxing and I hate bringing a YouTuber's personal life to public, but she brought it to us. Like, it's not like I woke up one day and said, oh, I wonder what Lauren Turd from Hidden True Crime is doing today. Like, in my thought experiment, I woke up and said, I wonder what Victoria is doing. I'm Becky, and I've decided to go over and harass the pretty girl. Like, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. She brought it to my doorstep, and I said, oh, hello. what is this? Let's take a look at it. And that's what we're doing.
The ex parte injunction. Skip forward to today, he's saying, well, I'll tell you what, Judge, well, I do you one better. Rather than having a full evidentiary hearing, why don't we deal with the motion that I just most recently filed to the court and you inform.
I can't believe she has somebody like Turtle Boy on, they have Turtle Boy on their ass now. Like they did that. I didn't do it. They did it.
Course, your own rule against the respondent because the respondent didn't follow the rules. Okay. So she's already breaking the rules. Punish her. And then the respondent's attorney says, no, that's the tail wagging the dog.
And if you present yourself as an expert and put yourself up on LinkedIn, don't be shocked when people explore who you are over on LinkedIn. I mean, it just common sense that they try to shame us for what they do themselves. Like the shaming is what's got me pissed off. I don't like to be shamed ever.
If it turns out that an ex parte motion or an ex parte injunction shouldn't have been filed and applied against my client in the first place.
You know what else? That's typical borderline personality in their playbook. They will try to shame you and make you feel such shame for the same exact stuff that they do. It's gaslighting. And they're very good at it. So I've said this before. I want you guys to get your lassos out and lasso the truth and hold on to it for dear life, because they're going to throw everything, every play in the narcissistic, borderline personality, whatever playbook they can at us. And like, it's it happening in chat. Just lasso it on to the truth and hold on for your life, because I think this is going to be a ride.
How are you going to punish my client for not following an unlawful, absurd expectation where my client hasn't done anything wrong to warrant the ex parte motion or the ex parte injunction in the first place? So deal with the injunction. Does it stay or does it go? And then if it stays, then we can deal with, holding my client in contempt or giving her a punishment, which, by the way, judges are really, really not fans of doing. Even in protective order cases, generally speaking, they don't always enforce the law. They don't always enforce their own order.
What does it mean? Like, even if he is a professor, in my college, we used to party with our professors. We used to go over to the houses and eat and party with them. Some of my friends were even sleeping with the professors. It's just like, professors are just people. Like, professors are people. And if he's adjunct, tenured, whatever, I think he has a degree. Big whoopee. But why doesn't he have a job? If he was from this prestigious institution, why isn't he working in a prestigious job? I mean, he's just a YouTuber. So I'm like, yeah, good for him. He got a degree. I got a degree too. I could have I know people that some of my friends went on and got their doctorates. Some didn't, like what? I'm just not impressed, and I'm not unimpressed either. It's just, yeah, good for him.
They always kind of give people the out. They say, well, maybe she was at the crime con first. Maybe she didn't really receive notice. Maybe she misunderstood me. And
Christina's like, my work is done. I got to stop starting and stopping because I'm watching you guys in chat and okay. Focus, Amy, get back to the lawyer. And so she's not like going in, she's talking a lot too. So let's move it forward and actually let's go into the summit. In the locker room, because I don't know why, but this looks like locker room to me. So we'll say the summit in the locker room that Dr. John gave.
We may cover what happened in California all together on Tuesday. So keep your eyes open. We'll get there. Okay, let's go.
And that, by the way, is malicious intent. One of the things about stalking, and we're going to talk about the definition of stalking in a little bit.
Hold on. Can you guys all hear him all right? Is that high enough? There we go.
There has to be malicious intent. There has to be some intent to cause harm. You have it in spades here. When someone says that they want to...
Okay, now this is immature on my part, but I'm going to be a little immature now. Have any of you guys watched Arrested Development? Do you guys know Mathias, who plays Mathias, and his wife? So in the movie or in the show, there is an actual character duo where this guy is married and he is a psychologist and he is married to this woman who's never worked in her life. And she just does a bunch of like charity things. And every time I see these two together, it sort of reminds me of their dynamic in the show. It is almost identical.
Burn your kingdom down when they want to expose you, when they want to harm you.
Tobias, Fouquet,
They
that's it.
feel-
Tobias, not Mathias.
Justified in doing it. They feel, as virtuous violence theory would predict,
She just roll her eyes. Hold on. Hold on.
feel as virtuous violence theory would predict.
That was an eye roll.
I watched Jay for Justice yesterday, and I watched their wedding video, and he's like doing a lot of like what he's doing here. He's like doing the voiceover and talking to her while they're standing on some kind of mountain, and like her eyes are glazed over, and I just wonder how much she pays attention to what he says. I really do.
Notice that? I swear I called him Mathias. I thought it was Mathias. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, but did you just catch her eye roll while he's about to pick up a book? This is 3 hours of him reading quotes, by the way. This is literally 3 hours of him quoting other people.
I get what you're laying down. I totally feel what you're saying.
They feel like most violence is the exercise of moral rights and obligations. That's exactly what this is.
Oh, sorry. I should tell you guys what happens. So, Dr. Z, $20 super chat. Thank you very much. We welcome all the super chats.
Amber, I'm going to email you and Millennial and see if you two want to do a live with me on this, maybe later today or tomorrow.
But except we shrinks are strictly forbidden to have dual relationships.
I saw Millennial.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Thank you, Dr. Z. I appreciate that. And may you not be in a dual relationship. Oh, you mean like two hats? Interesting. Yeah. See, I don't deal with shrinks. I'm going to be honest. In my personal life.
If any of you enjoy the Gypsy Rose case, Amber from Into the Weeds has been releasing some of Gypsy Rose prison emails. And 1980 Millennial, who was in here a minute ago too, both of them have been reading Gypsy Rose emails. So if you want to know like who the true Gypsy Rose Blanchard is, they are over there letting you know who that girl is. If you're into exposing people that are seedy underbelly of society.
I avoid drinks at all costs, and in my professional life
to be influencers.
I also avoid drinks at all costs. Yes, he can't do both. It may be unethical, but it's not illegal. So, but that would be called into question. You know how you would do that, Dr. Z, is you would call in another shrink on the opposing side who would offer a secondary opinion and say your shrink is a loser, and you'd have the battle of the experts. And we love that in civil court. It's a lot of fun.
I love
you. So he basically, I should tell you guys what he said because we're an hour into this stream and into the video. He says in the very beginning part, he talks about, for just a ridiculous amount of time, he talks about Brad Pitt, okay? And he says, like Brad Pitt, after talking for an hour about Brad Pitt's career and all this amazing stuff Brad Pitt has done, like seriously, for a full hour almost, he then transitions to say, like Brad Pitt, when he broke up with Angelina Jolie, there were accusations of him being an abuser. And as a result of that, it completely destroyed him and his life. And it was hard for him to get up and going again, even though he was an incredible artist. And the sense that I got from that is he's saying, you know, just like Brad Pitt, you're similar in that you are this public figure and you've built a brand for yourself and you've worked really hard. And the work that we do here is being attacked rather like as part of this attacking you, right? So it's not just attacking you, they're attacking what we do rather than seeing the good work that we do separated from you. And he goes on to talk about fundamental attribution error as a part of this argument that he's making to her. Now, when I say I don't usually work with shrinks in professional settings either, it's because when I have assisted certain shrinks in, is that a slur? Are you allowed to say shrink? I don't even know. When I have assisted mental health professionals in divorces, they tend to be very, very sensitive, and they don't usually understand that
I was laughing, and then I went into a coughing jag. I was trying to talk, but I couldn't because I couldn't stop coughing. I don't think shrink is a slur. I've never heard of that before. Have you? And yes, I was so disappointed in Dr. John and his stupid analogies. And why would you choose analogies and put your wife as the abuser? Putting her was or maybe she was supposed to be Angelina, but to me it felt like he was saying she was like Brad Pitt. I don't know. It was like crazy. I don't think he knows the full story. And I guess I keep saying that because I hope he doesn't know the full story. And that's why he's saying all this nonsense, giving us law from the UK. That's crazy.
Their pain and suffering, there is no relief for what they are seeking relief for. There is no claim upon which relief can be granted. Rule 12b6. Okay. I can't go back and take back the mean traumatic things that happened to you during your marriage, and the court can't either. I'm sorry.
I don't think I'm helping destroy anybody. I think I'm just bringing information to the public that they brought to us. And just because I don't buy their narrative doesn't mean that I'm the problem. I mean, this feels a lot like what they do, right? I'm not the problem. You're the problem. Here's all this information. What, you don't believe me? Well, then you're a real degenerate criminal kind of person, basically, is what John told us. And I'm not here for it.
And shrinks generally don't take that news very well. And they tend to take it against you personally. Like, they take it personally. You know, it's like, I need to get that video clip too. And so I took that personally. They tend to take it personally.
The texts that Amber and I had, and you know, I don't do that, but I'm sure Amber wouldn't mind if I showed texts where Amber and I are like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Poor Lauren. This is horrible. This is my biggest fear. I don't want to be stalked. But this isn't stalking. It's not stalking.
And they tend to think that you are not doing your job as an attorney because clearly there's an injustice that has happened to them. And they feel like that injustice needs to be corrected by the courts. And it's hard sometimes when they don't realize that there's no legal remedy for them. And I'm going to be hey, therapy is very important. I don't know what implied that I didn't think that it's not important. As someone who has 2 self-deletions in the family, I myself have considered the sewer slide option, okay, on more than one occasion. I am someone who is also ADHD and dyslexic.
I will also say that I've told you guys that I've gone through a lot in the past, like I put it at 10 years. I've had pulmonary embolisms. I've had strokes. I had to go into rehab to learn to walk and talk twice through having MS flare-ups that were so bad that it took my ability to walk again. I was talked into coming to move to Florida with my family to be taken care of. And I am completely out here on my own. I was homeless for a year. I have tried the self-deletion 3 times, and I decided, like, that's a really hard route to go, and I'm going to make a beautiful life. And a part of that beautiful life is when you go through such darkness, you kind of make friends with who you are. You figure out your dark and your light, and you figure out where you went wrong and where where you need to apologize and where you need to do better, and just becoming a better person. And I think that's what we're all here on this planet for. And I think Lauren has really fallen short of that. And I think that the only way to turn this around is to take some kind of responsibility. But I do think she has some kind of mental defect that prevents her from doing those things. But therapy is important. and living and learning and growing. And I'm no longer on that path that I was. You know, I no longer have to take certain types of pain medications. I'm off of almost all of my mental health medications. And I did that by just going inward and learning and growing and figuring out where I went wrong in life, where I went right in life, and taking some goddamn accountability, right? Saying that, yes, I was a victim, but I wasn't the perfect victim in a situation, and I didn't handle this right, and I handled that right, and, you know, like, just trying to do better. And I think the problem that we all have in this situation is Lauren and John are not trying to do better. They're putting the blame squarely on everybody else except them. And nobody's perfect. Nobody, not one of us is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. But they brought this imperfection to me. And I have opinions. And I'm not going to be shamed for my opinions. And also, you shouldn't be shamed if you're feeling a certain kind of way and you want to get some kind of therapy. It's really not a shameful thing to have in your life. In fact, I encourage everybody to have some kind of therapy. And if you don't have a friend in your life that you can talk these things out with, then get a therapist, because a therapist is paid and it's illegal for them to talk, right? If you don't trust anybody out there, then get a therapist. But isn't that another journey, finding the right therapist? Ugh, I won't get into that, but that's another journey, finding the right therapist.
And an attorney and a mess, generally speaking, all very helpful and necessary services. Anyone who works in the mental health field, I send you my love. I'm just saying,
I got a baby bird that my whole life revolves around now because his poo does not stink, according to him.
Speaking, we don't.
He's got the brain of like a 3 or 5 year old. So what are we talking about here? Is Lauren and John, do they got the 3 or 5 year old brains too?
Part ways professionally. I don't deal with you all professionally very well because of what I just said, which is I can't provide you a legal remedy. Like, you can provide me services. You can help provide me some level of healing, self-insight, reflection. You can help change my perspective and change the way that I've seen or observed certain things so that I can deal and cope with things better. I can't do the same for you, unfortunately, legally.
Point, young black economists. That's a good point. They want us to give them grace, and to make the blunders, but Christina and the rest of the world, nobody's allowed. It's a lot of rules for me and not for thee, or rules for thee and not me. It's just a lot of that, which boils down to gaslighting, which seems to be the word of from 2020 on, gaslighting. I used to, nobody used to use that word. Now everybody uses it, and everybody seems to do it too.
Speaking all of the time. And generally speaking, I think that people who work in that field, from what I've observed, have a wonderful temperament, but a very strong sense of justice. A very strong sense of justice in my personal observance. So that all out of the way, let's get back into this because, and let me say, for those who are wondering, you can check out.
I like her point that she makes here, though. And she's basically saying none of us are perfect. None of us. All of us got a little bit of skeletons in our closet. And that's not what we're saying here. We're not saying that Lauren needs to be perfect. But I do think Lauren needs to come clean. And I think Lauren thought she could get ahead of this story. But, I mean, it's the true crime community. We do this for shits and giggles. People do this for free. People do this in their sleep. What were you thinking?
Now that I'm going to give you my opinion of what has happened, I have seen this happen before, and so maybe I am biased. I've seen it happen in practice before. But in my personal opinion, hey, Scott Weiser, spot on analysis, Danny. Thank you. Scott Weiser is also another attorney.
Yes, and I call Lauren Turd because she tried to tell us, he tried to make it the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie analogy, but to me, this is more of the Amber Turd, Johnny Depp analogy. And so she has earned, for me, she's Lauren Turd. She is trying to weaponize victimhood, and it's just not working for her. My dog stepped on a bee. Long Quan. I mean, yeah. Perfect sound bites.
So, so he understands. He feels me. We feel each other. We get it. Okay. My read on this entire 3-hour spiel that he gives, and this entire lawsuit that has been pursued in this case, and I think that this is something that Scott Weiser can also relate to. I think that her dear husband, Lauren's dear husband, John, idolizes his wife, truly loves his wife deeply. I think that he sees her as a celebrity. If that were not true, I don't think he would be bringing up celebrities for 3 hours straight and comparing them to her. That being said,
we all do have nasty texts, but I promise you, I don't have nasty texts about colleagues. I don't have nasty texts about my best friends. I might have nasty texts to my best friends, but I really don't talk about colleagues like that. I don't. Remember, we all said nasty things. I even just told you a story of me telling a nasty story, and it got recorded and sent to them in a voicemail. I mean, we've all done it. Yeah. But did we call the police? No.
How I said, in my experience, they tend to have people in this field, and especially John, has a very deep-seated sense of justice.
I'm not going to say we all. I'm not going to, like, if you guys offend the good person and not said, you know, like, there are some people that are just the sweetest, kindest people out there that just don't talk ish. And yeah, you're out there. But the vast majority of us, so I'm going to correct myself. I'm not going to label everybody into the talking ish category.
Desire to seek justice. He wants to protect and defend his wife's honor. Okay.
Me too.
He sees her being attacked in the public. And while I think she might be able to handle it and may have not pursued this course of action on her own, I think that John looked at this and said,
learn to not put anything in a text that I'm not willing to say to a human being. And yeah, I guess I'm lucky too, because I'm a very honest person. Well, I'm a very straightforward person. And I have a hard time, like, if you tell me, do I like this? Like, I'm going to have to tell you if I don't like it. Like, I'm not going to lie to you and say I like it. So, and if you're hurting my feelings, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. So I'm going to be pretty straightforward with you. So I'm not somebody who, I'll say more than most people. So, I mean, there's that for me too. So I do get a lot of my feelings out there because I don't bottle shit up.
You are in danger. I need to protect my wife. This is my job, my duty as her husband, and I don't want to see her hurt. I see that my wife is being hurt. I want it to stop. There has to be some sort of legal remedy to make this stop. That's my very generous and honest opinion of this entire situation. I think that he fed her this case and said, you are entitled to a legal remedy here. You deserve to be protected. You should pursue this path. I have seen this happen before where a spouse is a mental health professional or their loved one is, and not even them. I'm talking people who are going through divorce and they're
girl, you just have no idea. If I let myself get too upset about things, this is also why you won't see me in a whole lot of content creator drama. I've been almost pulled into it and I just run from it, because if I get stressed out, then I can't do anything. Like, and for me, my energy is my gold. It's my liquid gold, and I'm not giving it to you. And so I won't let you shame me. I don't let people stress me out too much. If you're going to talk about me, what can I do about it? Yeah. You know, I'm the villain in people's story. I know that. You're the villain in my story. I'm the villain in your story. I can live with it. I'm a Scorpio. I'm your woo-woo bestie, you guys. I'm a Scorpio, and I can live with being a villain in somebody's story. I don't really care. As long as it's the truth, and I feel like I'm sitting in the truth, I can be the villain in the story. And also, if I'm in a circle of friends and they're talking shit, I can walk away from it and be like, I don't want to be a part of this. I can walk away. And if people come to me and say, so-and-so, just the other day, I used to cover the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, and I got a text, was told that some content creators were talking about me. I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm not liked by everyone. I've figured that out. Being a kind of stronger type of person will make you unlikable. Not everyone wants to know my opinion, but I create my own seats at the table these days. And I think every person needs to get into that kind of space in this day and age, because nobody gives an F about your feelings or whether you're hurt or whether someone's talking about you or this or that. You really do need to just start focusing on yourself and what makes you happy and just letting the rest roll off your back.
Mother-in-law went through a divorce, right? Or their mother went through a divorce and they're pushing a case on them. My sense is that may have been what happened here. Someone had commented in a super chat. Rogue Mama 25 said, this seemed off brand for them. That's why. I think that from a PR, if they had taken the PR perspective of this, she could have said all of these things about Christina and never filed a lawsuit. And we wouldn't be here, and she wouldn't have lost, I don't know, hundreds of subs by now, I'm sure. She would have made tons of money. Now she's making tons this way too. As far as a grift, okay. So that is my personal opinion. Okay, my personal sympathetic.
I don't think anybody is thinking that Christina is this amazing creature. From everybody that I've heard, almost every content creator, they're like, would I have made those TikToks? No. No. But also, I do realize that Gen Z does communicate through videos. I mean, it's their diary source, and it's like public. And would I have done it? No. Do I think Christina's amazing? No. Do I think Christina's any better friend than Lauren? Maybe she's a little bit of a better friend, but I still wouldn't want either one of them as a friend, just because, right? Because I don't want a friend that if we get into some kind of argument, they're going to go make TikToks about me. Ugh. But as a content creator, it is something that happens. Do I want it to happen? No, but I also want my free speech. If you want your own free speech, then you've got to protect their free speech too. It just is what it is. I remember when there was a Ku Klux Klan rally in the city that I lived in, and I was in my early 30s, and I was like, I just can't understand it. Can't understand why they would let that happen. But they have to protect the free speech. They roped it off. They got police enforcement around it, and they did what they did. I didn't agree with it, and there were people out there protesting it, and that is the United States, my friend. We defend our free speech here, and for all the problems that are happening in the United States, I still think it's the best place to be.
Optimistic view of what's happening. Okay, now can Danny give you her very, very, very not so optimistic, sympathetic, and generous opinion? Here it is. You weren't asking, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is the best grift ever. This is such a good grift. Oh my God. So you take this, you make your own case. You work in, think about it. Your audience is primed for this. They're all true crime people. You are a true crime victim of this stalker.
And then on top of you get your hidden true gems to go into other content creators and try to shame them for talking about it. That's part of the grift too.
She's coming after your loved ones, your life, everything. 9 hours of it, okay? You get to sit there and blow everything up, right? And you get to go after everyone who screwed you in the past and say they're all in on it. And
that's the beauty of the United States. If you're in the United States, you can think however you want about it, right? And it be your own free thought.
Then you get a husband who's a psychologist who's going to back you up and say, yes, they're all in on it. And there's the other thing. John did this whole total gaslighting. I felt like he was gaslighting for 3 hours straight. He's sitting there saying, no, you guys, this is a character assassination. This is just a smear campaign. No, it's not. She is the one who screwed this up. She's the one who didn't have the receipts she thought she had. She's the one who brought this to light. She's the one who knew that the Streisand effect would take.
Unfortunately, I don't know what time, but we did pop over. It's over here on Difficult Research, and I will put her link down there, and you guys can have it. I don't see anything. Let me see if she posted anything. I don't see anything scheduled yet, but her channel is Difficult Research, and she is related to Lori and worked with Lauren. Is going to go live tonight and kind of tell us her side of the story.
A fact. There's no way. You don't work on YouTube. You don't do this stuff. She's the one who has perpetuated the rumor mill. She's the one who went and said, well, we are going to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it behind our Patreon paywall. Okay? Honey, that's a damn.
If you could just take a moment to see if you're subscribed, and if you're not, I would love to have you subscribed and hit that like button for me. Thanks, guys.
I'm good grift. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to get tons of rumors, tons of attention, tons of people who will double, triple down on protecting you, defending you, you know, coming in and encircling you. You guys think that she's going to have any negative consequences? Her channel's going to disappear just because she's lost 1,000 subs? I can guarantee you she's gained an entirely new audience. This is how cry bullying works. This is how cry bullying works. I've
never heard of cry bullying before. Have you? That's a new word in my vocabulary. Cry bullying.
Attacked, and I have this person attacking me, and the court needs to silence them. That's what she's doing. And she's making bank off of reporting and talking about her own channel. It's crazy, crazy. People who've never heard of Hidden True Crime have heard about her through this and are probably joining in just to watch the show. Now, do I think this is a sustainable or wise decision?
Who else picked up in John's summit that we were to be shamed, or she said, and some of you haven't even seen me before. Lauren Turd's like, and some of you haven't even swatched me before, and now you have. Whatever.
No. But my sneaking suspicion, my less than generous, cynical view of this, if I were to see it cynically, is that I do think, though, that my initial inclination and my initial opinion, which is far more generous, is correct, which is this is a man who wanted to protect his wife, didn't know how, pushed her into pursuing every legal avenue to defend and protect her and her honor. That's my generous and honest opinion. But as a YouTuber attorney who's also cynical, there's my cynical take. And there's reasons for both takes, and we'll listen and I'll tell you why.
They're exercising in their mind their moral rights and obligations because you harm them, because you're immoral, because you're a bad person, and they will not stop until their goal is met, which is to ruin you or have you end up dead.
So there you go. So this is what we call in the legal field overstating your case, okay? He's sitting there saying, they want you dead. They want you dead. I don't know if he actually believes that or not.
There has never been any death threats at all in this case, and he's taking it to there. But, I mean, they took it to Charlie Kirk, well, so of course he is.
I tend to think that he does. I think he's a little more sensitive, right? That the stats you talk about. And I think he's feeding her paranoia. He's feeding her this. And the reason I say this is my husband would never do this, by the way. My husband would never do this. I ran for office. I was the president of the Federalist.
Thought about coming on here with all my books and just plopping them down and thumping my books for you to prove I'm a smarty pants.
Society at the University of Utah, where we have a very, very active Antifa chapter, and I've talked about this. I have received death threats. I have been followed to my car. I have had, you name it, come against me in terms of actual threatening, scary people coming after me. And you know what my husband has always done? Don't listen to them, honey. They're not going to do anything. They haven't done anything to you now. Like, they haven't done it to you before, and there's been worse situations. Don't listen to the haters. They don't effing know you. Stay focused, honey. You're doing a great job. Stay focused, honey. Keep working hard. Stay focused, honey. Your dreams are almost a reality. You're making it happen.
I will say one thing that's really kind of alarmed me during covering this type of case is that every content creator that I've gone to has brought up their own examples of being bullied or treated in this kind of way by another content creator. I mean, I've got my own stories, and it's just really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that other people get so jealous of anybody else's success instead of celebrating it. It makes no sense.
Don't listen to these losers. Okay? That's what a good husband does. That's what a supportive husband should be doing. He's sitting here feeding her paranoia. This is not healthy. This is not wise. Okay? As this is just my general, take it for what it is. Okay? Take it for what it's worth. My personal advice to you, marriage advice.
You don't expect your sig other to feed into it. You do expect them to to build you up and be like, it's gonna be okay, you know, it's fine, just keep, like what she's saying, you know, just keep plugging on. You don't really expect them to feed into your delusions, and it's really dangerous when they do feed into the delusions. And I mean, we're looking at, like, there are cases where husband and wife buy into the same delusions. Like, we've had true crime cases. There's that one where the family packed up the car and drove out into the woods, and they apparently walked into the woods. You know, I can't think of the name of the case, but they had some kids and they just disappeared. There's actually a few of those kind of cases where the family is just buying into the delusion. I was just watching a story where this police officer said the creepiest call that he ever had was he went to a house where the woman thought that there were little kids in the living room that were coming up. Like, she had to stay upstairs because the little kids were demons in the living room and they were animals or something. And so the guy was talking to the husband, and he thought the husband was the sane one, and he was telling him what the wife thought, and he goes up and talks to the wife, and then he finds out that the wife got the idea from the husband. And then he goes down and he's like, this was the creepiest case that I ever had. They were like both bought into the same delusion. So is this what we're seeing here?
Don't feed into your spouse's illusions and delusions. It's the scariest and worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is reassure them, tell them everything's okay, and carry a big stick. If you live in the state of Utah, we're a constitutional carry state. You come in my house, you get what's coming to you. That's not a threat, it's a promise. If you're in Arizona, or if you're in Nevada, I don't think Nevada is a constitutional carry state. Carry some freaking pepper spray and defend yourself. Okay? But what he's doing here is no bueno.
That's the goal,
in my opinion.
Let me continue with another. I'm going to read another part of this book that's so important.
But I think it's because he's scared. Again, that's my generous opinion.
Same book, Virtuous Violence, same authors.
And I think they've fed these delusions into Grayson. And I think Grayson's really scared. And I think Grayson is somebody that could become really unhinged, because she has talked about her mental health issues. And yeah, in Lauren's crying to Grayson, this 24-year-old. This Dr. John is crying to Grayson, this 24-year-old. I think it's just too much. I think back to when I was 24 and I thought I was really mature, but I mean, no, I was still just a young girl. And Grayson is just a young girl too, and impressionable by two adults that are in their, I don't know how old he is. I know she's in her 40s. I don't know if he's in his 50s or 40s, 50s, whatever. Like two full grown ass adults are influencing Grayson. But also I worry about Grayson because she is an adult and she's making adult decisions. No, I gotta stop worrying about people. Grayson's a big girl, but also I think Grayson is in trouble.
Page 17.
Okay, we're gonna skip a little.
Bond.
Again, he just reads for like 3 hours.
That's
conformity.
That's all over this. That's all over this situation.
Yeah, I thought I was on it. I thought I was on top of it at 24. I was just going out. I just graduated from college. Like I said, as a young 24-year-old in Detroit, I was, sitting in the court system for the foster kids upstairs. I had one child on my caseload that the father couldn't stand that the child was looking at him, and it was just a babe, like a 3-year-old. So he super glued her eyes shut. So, I mean, I think about that poor young girl that was dealing with that, and I thought I was on top of shit, but I was not. I was not. You know, I should have been, I should have known at least, like, I didn't carry a gun, pepper spray, or anything. It's just crazy. And I think about Grayson, and she is just a young girl, and shame on these two for doing this.
They're evaluating you. And again, this gets to the question of moral authority. They're evaluating you against an ideal of loyalty.
No, I'm talking about Grayson. Grayson is her producer / assistant / nanny / live-in helper. I don't know quite what Grayson is, but her official title is producer, but she lives with them. She hasn't been home in months. Yeah, their son is 8 years old. 8. But I suspect she spends more time with Grayson than her son. And that's just me. That's just my saying. I suspect that. I have no proof.
In conformity and acquiescence and fitting in above all else. What they're not doing is they're not evaluating against, they're not evaluating against the criteria of quality work. Right. We talked about, they're not evaluating you against the criteria of creativity. They're not evaluating you against the criteria of complexity, because they're not allowing you to be complex.
No, I need to conform.
You need to conform, right? If you reject
everything they say in this, and he says in here, it can go right back to them. It can apply to them. It's like they're pointing their finger, like that analogy where, you know, be careful when you point a finger at somebody because you got 3 fingers pointing right back at you. This is them to a T.
Them, you're not conforming.
No, stop gaslighting us. Lauren, you made yourself the subject and object of ridicule. You made yourself a part of your brand. John, you know that she did. You know that she made her warm and welcoming presence, the face, the persona that she put on, being there to fight for victims and justice. That was a part of her brand. So if she's saying shit in private texts that go against the brand, and she gets in fights with literally everyone she works with and ends up suing them and makes herself look bad in the process, that's not a smear campaign. That's people having a good laugh at her demise that she's put herself through. She is her own worst enemy in this case. So don't sit there and try and gaslight us and say, well, see, they're not looking at you. They're not allowing you space to be a complex person. You have not allowed us space to see you as a complex person. You guys all know me, okay? This is it. I don't pretend authenticity. This is me. Sometimes I'm very nice. Sometimes I'm really generous with my takes. Sometimes I'm a bitch.
I like her.
I'm not going to apologize for either of those personas. They're both me. Okay? That's my brand. That's who I am. You don't like my work. You don't like me. Don't subscribe. That's okay. That's okay. But you ain't going to see me going and suing people for doxing or for...
Dr. John has some kind of disease. What kind of disease does Dr. John have? Just be nice. What's his disease? I didn't know he had something. I didn't know he had a medical condition.
For, you know, putting out my private text. Do I think that that's abhorrent? Yes. Do I think that you should dox people? No, ever. As a matter of fact, I think doxing I think it should be illegal, but I think that...
I think doxing should be illegal. I think giving out somebody's private home information, it should be. Yeah, I'm against that.
You have to be very, very, very careful on how you craft that law. Regardless, if the public texts are coming out, I ain't suing you. I might sue you for something because, you know, why not? I can do it for free. But not if it's going to damage my brand, not if it's damaging my channel.
Can you describe it to me? Can you tell me like what it is that is wrong, and maybe I'll know the word for it? Could we try it that way?
I don't think she would do.
Also, I want to make sure everyone's being kind to each other. Everybody can have their opinions in the chat. Just make sure that if you disagree, just, you know, don't put too much heat on it. I put a lot of heat on my disagreement. And I think sometimes people think that maybe there's more heat behind it than it is. I just have like, I'm just like, when I talk, I'm dramatic, but I'm not as dramatic as I seem.
Either if it was so damaging to her. I think she likes the amount of views she's getting off of this.
Not loyal. Like one of the themes that you see throughout this entire TikTok is, oh, she's a bad friend. I'm going to punish her for being a bad friend. She doesn't know what a friendship is. That's the ideal. That's the reason why there's a real risk of violence here is because number one, this can escalate.
High blood pressure, because I know they were talking about his blood pressure being high, but I mean, that could have something to do with him being slightly overweight too. So I don't know.
So easily. And number two, you don't fit that ideal. You never did. You're not conforming to this.
Yeah,
there's a risk it could escalate so easily.
I will say this to Lauren and John. Thank you for doing this, because I have found a lot of new content creators that I'm enjoying. A lot of people have said they are finding smaller content creators, such as my site. So they have done that for us. They have connected a lot of us content creators that would maybe have not known about each other. So yeah, yay.
Okay, then you should have shown us receipts of that. You never did. You never did, John.
Very narrow, rigid perspective that they want you to fit into.
What a friend is and their friend, and yeah.
That makes this, by the way, I mentioned the moral crusade. That makes this an ideological battle.
I'm somebody, I actually have the exact opposite. I have low blood pressure, and I run the risk if I get up too fast of passing out. And I've had to spend a week in the hospital trying to just get my blood pressure under control to make it so it's high enough. So I can't relate to all of that, but I know having high blood pressure is really dangerous. But I mean, it all comes back to are they doing it to themselves? Is this high blood pressure? Did he really need to do this 3.5 hour live about analogy after analogy about Brad Pitt, thought experiments, young kids? To me, he just really made things worse here.
The sense that the fight here is, and to them, the fight here is good versus evil or good versus bad. They're good, you're evil. And because of that,
actually, you know what? It just dawned on me. Maybe the best thing for my blood pressure is getting into drama, because it shakes things up for me. It gets my blood pressure going. You should have heard me yesterday. I was pissed, because when I think about what they're truly doing, when I think about what it really is, that they're mucking up the court system and they're using a stalker injunction to try to control what somebody's saying, and that for true stalking victims, how bad this is, yeah, it gets my blood pressure going a little bit. So maybe that's why this is helping my blood pressure, you guys.
the only possible way out of this is total ruination of you or death.
What? Here's my beer. Well, that escalated quickly. Jesus. The only way these people are going to stop is through ruination or death. John, let me assure you, if you have spent 5 minutes on the internet, ruination and death is sort of our bread and butter here, people. Okay. It's a day in, day out bit. If you're online, you're going to get horrible things said about you, horrible things done to you. And especially now with AI, the things that people can do and make. Okay. The only people who can ruin you online is you. I will stand by that wholeheartedly. The only person to really ruin you online is you.
That's
true.
It. Because look
now,
at all of the people that were in prison and now they have successful YouTube channels. If you just own your shit, if you just own it, and if you are the person you say you are behind the scenes, then you really don't have a whole lot to worry about. Yeah, you probably, everybody's done some shit in the past. And yeah, but if you are who you are, and if you own who you are, then nobody can destroy you. And really, can anybody destroy you? Like, look at what's happened. Like, for all it is, as much as I hate Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she has taught me something. She has taught me that, like, it really doesn't matter what other people think about you. You can still just go forward in life and do what you do and still, like, there will be people who will support you, and there will be people who don't support you, and you just need to find that crowd. So as much as I hate Gypsy Rose and what she did, I like to take situations and try to learn from it and figure things out. And maybe this is another situation where that's why we're gravitating to this. Like, we're all trying to figure out how to deal with the Lauren Mathiases and the Dr. Johns in our lives.
Death, there needs to be a specific and clear threat. Oh, sounds like someone needs hold on. Opa! 괜찮아, hindi kakwa? Baby needs a snack. Hold on, folks.
Hungry.
He's hungry. Hold on. We'll just turn off my camera here. Haha. This is how we'll do this.
Were you a hidden gem? Just out of curiosity, were you a Charlotte Foster? Were you a hidden gem and you've seen the light? I mean, the more that comes out, I really can't see how you can support them. I mean, to each their own. I'm big on that because like I can't wrap my mind around a lot of stuff that's happening in this world. And so I just like, it's not for me. It's not what I would waste my time doing, but to each their own, right? Like what I'm doing might not be what you would waste your time doing, but it's what I'm doing. And so to each their own, right?
Come on. Come here, little buddy. Oh, you're so hungry. Come here. Camera's off. It's okay. All right. Come here, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. My baby's already the 97th percentile, but it is not enough. It is not enough. By the way, my baby is having his entry to the world party. You guys are all invited. It will be the...
Let me move it forward. She must have just had a baby because she did mention that she's been MIA because she wants to spend all her time with her baby, which it melted my heart.
So 100
Nothing's going to happen. This is nothing, right? No, virtuous violence theory suggests otherwise. And if you do, as I've done, if you do some of the stalking risk assessments, the risks are considerable.
And this is what he does: is he assesses and evaluates offenders.
Yeah.
So
I asked you, I remember, Amber, I asked you if you had any interaction with her at CrimeCon. And I remember you saying to me that she was just always surrounded by people. I mean, how in danger could she have been if she's at CrimeCon just surrounded by people, right? If you're fearful for your life, maybe you don't go to CrimeCon, but she did.
See, this is why I say, you guys, I think this is where I'm generous, right? He seems to be a man who really loves his wife, and I think she trusts his opinion a lot. And
we're gonna have to get Amber and Millennial on here, you guys, for sure, because you probably don't know this, but they were both at CrimeCon. So Millennial, 1980 Millennial, and Into the Weeds podcasts are two content creators that I think highly of, and both of them had they were with Military Broadcast Channel. It's a channel that helps vets start their own podcast and they don't charge anything for a year. It's like a great thing. And so they had their own space at CrimeCon. So we will get them on here and they can give their perspective of like what CrimeCon's like. And that way we will like have 4 eyes. Well, actually 6, because Alora, Amber's daughter, would probably join us too, that were at CrimeCon that can kind of give us fill in some more blanks for us.
I think he fed her a case that doesn't exist.
what you do with your philosophy.
We know
psychology.
There's so many examples of when you engage with people on a moral crusade and your goal is to dehumanize them, and you see it as a moral issue, it will escalate. And that was a concern you and I had. If people say, oh my God, the stalking order is so frivolous, no, it's not. And this is why.
Praying. That's awesome.
Because you and I were trying to prevent someone landing at our door with a gun. We did not want to get to that point.
And somebody has now threatened us with that online.
Yes.
Officially.
Okay. Pixar, it didn't happen on that one.
We received our first official death threat.
I actually replied to your comment. What did they say? Just out of curiosity.
The other day. Which again,
not our first official, actually.
Yeah, that's true. We've had others. That's true.
But it was very chilling.
It was chilling, and it shows you the extent to which when you start framing things in terms of this moral crusade, this is what you get. What are some of the other risks? And we're going to define stalking in a second, but let's talk about some of the other risks involved here and why this is not just mean girl behavior. Number one, the obsessive nature of the posts. Everyone we talk about this all the time. The number of criminals engaged in murder or very violent acts, almost all of them have some type of obsessive qualities. They ruminate about the victim. They can't stop thinking about the victim.
All right, so that's the first example.
Social media.
Saying you feel threatened.
Yeah, starting it with I feel threatened, then the social media, the Instagram to Instagram and TikTok.
So that was the first clue that he's feeding her a story.
And there's YouTube.
And hatred towards you.
Escalating.
I've heard a lot of comments saying that this whole gaslighting summit seemed like it was him trying to convince her that yes, indeed, you are being stalked. So, I mean, there's that. I can kind of see it now what Danny's saying, right? It is. I do see it. But I see it also in the context that I don't think Lawrence told him the whole story. I think there's more to the story that if he knew, he wouldn't be pushing her to contact the police. That's just a gut feeling I have. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do.
There's also this inordinate.
Okay, now here's the cynical side of Danny saying this is for attention, and maybe not all is well in Zion in their little relationship, because he says some stuff that, again, if my husband said this shit, I'd be pissed.
Rage and hatred towards you.
People hate you. Like an inordinate amount of rage and hatred towards
that's
you.
That's a risk. Because
people hate you, Lauren. They call you Lauren Turd. They hate you.
When people develop this intense rage towards another human being. And I think, by the way, with the TikToker, I think a lot of that is repressed.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's cheating or what, but I don't think he has the whole story yet. I don't think we have the whole story. Like I'm starting to dream about this. And I call myself the guessing psychic. I have a chance of being 50-50 right, or Amy the guessing psychic. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. So, but I really have it in my gut that there's more to it. And I think a lot of people do too.
Is he projecting? Is he projecting his own rage and hatred that's repressed? I'm just saying this again, cynical Danny. Don't listen to her. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
The way you see that rage is by ignoring a stalking injunction. Right? The way you see that rage come out, the stalker did that. On the day of that's harassment.
What was supposed to it was supposed to be our evidentiary hearing, and the judge changed it to a later date, and
the judge continued it
and lessened the stalking injunction, and she went out and did a mic drop
again.
So who was mad? So who was really mad about that then? So when I heard this, I went, wait a second, they continued the evidentiary hearing. So there was an evidentiary hearing. This is all red flags to me. Like the anger in her face right now, where this stalking injunction was lessened by the judge, where initially in the 9-hour live stream, she had inferred, or you could infer, she had implied that she had just dropped this case, that she was being the bigger person, and that she had just decided to drop it and hoped that she would be able to come out here and tell her side of the story. That's what she was implying for 9 hours.
Did you reply and say that what they said to your comment? Did I miss it? I am blocked. It was only once. Oh, wait. I forget who told me they let the comment. I'm sorry. Could you put, I need a mod. I was trying to do it without a mod for a while, but I think I need a mod. I missed your comment if they replied. Sorry. Interesting. I think they're definitely moderating their comments. They're leaving the slightly bad ones up that could go either way, I noticed, and all the good ones up too. And yeah.
And then I heard this and I went, okay.
Oh,
That's weird.
Bubble.
Utah code, by the
I have not seen your pretty little face in a while. Good morning.
way. Utah code specifies quite clearly that you can't modify a stalking injunction.
Everybody go back and listen to my legal analysis. We did listen to the hearing. We listened to it all together.
And without hearing evidence from the petitioner,
And that's what happened.
from Lauren. And
He did hear the evidence, 1, and 2, he didn't modify your stalking injunction. He clarified. Scott Weiser's going to get a laugh out of that because judges don't modify. They clarify. Judges are never wrong. You just misinterpreted.
the injunction was modified without hearing a shred of evidence from us. Also, just so people know this, our lawyer tried to get the stalking injunction enforced.
My lawyer is
That is not what happened, by the way. It is not. You're making it hard for me to keep a straight face.
I think I had my mic muted. I've got the little bird waking up from his shower and I had myself muted, but I was just calling out Lily B and Kylie, people that I'm noticing back in here. I'm just really happy to see all of you. I'm Jay Brand and Amber and Millennial and people that I just haven't seen in a while. Kim, thank you guys for being here. Thank you all the new people. I'm just really happy to see all of you here.
Not that there was no evidence heard from their side. Again, petitioner got an ex parte civil stalking injunction granted, meaning he heard their side. He heard their evidence, the vast majority of it, which is why he granted it in the first place. Ooh, I'd be so mad if I was the judge hearing this.
not my brother. Yes, go ahead.
Our lawyer, Daston, not her brother, our lawyer who,
One of 4.
yeah, one of, right. We have other lawyers too. None of them.
Oh, are you bringing that up? Do you want legal fees? Oh, was she seeking legal fees? Okay, I'm going to let this play. I'm going to go see if she was seeking legal fees.
On my brother.
Yeah. So whatever, let the rumor mill. Our lawyer tried to argue correctly
to enforce
that because there were multiple violations of a stalking injunction, which is a felony, that the stalking injunction should get automatically enforced. Guess what?
And that is Utah code. That is if you violate it twice.
Our lawyer made the point that hearing never should have even occurred. It shouldn't have even been an issue. It's black and white. Someone violated a stalking injunction. It gets enforced. It should have been enforced. End of story. Let's move on.
She didn't ask for it specifically. They asked for any and all other relief that the court would feel is appropriate. I just had to double check.
I have our privacy intact. That's all we wanted. We wanted this to be private.
Okay, this is where you lost me entirely, okay? I want, we want our privacy meme. Hold on. This is what you guys sound like. Am I going to get a copyright claim for this? I better not.
Oh, we did see yesterday.
I'm going to get a copyright claim for it. Just imagine.
Lauren did copyright claim the person that brought us Sloothy Goosey. But that was back when, before this all broke out, she was copyright claiming people. So we'll see.
Imagine the South Park episode. Okay, you know what I'm requiring. You know what I'm talking about. The privacy tour. Respect our privacy.
We wanted to move on with our lives without someone harassing us all the time, bullying us, stalking us.
Calling. We'll get into that later. Calling people, contacting people.
That's all we wanted. This argument.
You could have had that. Again, she could have had that from a legal perspective. She could have had that.
Yes, I saw their wedding video yesterday over on Jay for Justice. Jay is doing, but she's doing it on her second channel. I can't remember her second channel, but Jay for Justice is covering it quite a bit. And I saw her wedding video and I'm like, I don't know. I definitely 100% am not into her style, because that wedding jewelry that she was wearing was the ugliest stuff I've ever seen. That's what I took from that wedding thing.
A little bit more. She should have moved forward with a defamation claim, with an tortious.
Yes, that is my personal opinion. I don't have to like everything, and she put it in front of my eyes, and that's my opinion. I think what she was wearing, that jewelry, was hideous, unless maybe it's a Mormon thing. I don't know. Maybe she had to wear it. I don't know.
Interference claim. She should have moved forward with all of those claims, and she chose not to.
That somehow.
I now know why she probably didn't go for defamation. Hi, buddy. Are you all full? You ready to go back to daddy? Were you just cheating?
I love that she's sitting there breastfeeding.
Very oppositional, let's call it antisocial quality.
Can I ask a question?
Which is violating.
Why is she taking notes?
That is very strange.
Why is she?
I don't understand. She did this through the whole thing, took notes. Was it for their Patreon paywall later, or was it to guide him in the direction she wanted him to go in? Was it for Grayson? What were the notes for? And like, do you walk around in your marriage just taking notes, as he's talking? Just no. It makes no sense.
Taking notes?
Yes, she's taking
It's just a little weird, isn't it? Like, okay, these are some things I just observed, okay?
Oh, maybe.
When she compares herself to...
But no, actually, because this was pre-recorded, they pre-recorded this. Grayson edited 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 40 minutes or whatever, and then put it up as a video premiere. So
I could skip around and try and find it. I may do that, okay? But when she compares herself to Charlie Kirk and she says lives were lost, I am going to try and find that clip. Lives were lost. He interrupts her and then says lives, plural. Charlie Kirk had more than one life. And he even said,
I also heard that Lauren, I know like the Mormons have that 144,000 thing that of, the people that are going to be allowed in heaven, or, I'm not Mormon, so I don't know, but they have that. Lori Vallow was, she was part of the 144,000. Well, apparently Lauren, when she hit 144,000 on her channel, had 144,000 channel party and told Lori Vallow that she entered 144,000 before her. I mean, Lori Vallow murdered her 2 children, her husband, her ex-husband, and Lord knows who else. And she is, and you're supposed to be somebody for the victims, and this is what you're gonna do? I just yeah, no, not for me.
Says his name wrong, but like he corrects her there. He keeps mentioning that this one commentator or this one viewer had sent them an email and said, I don't care if she's the devil, I would still watch her work and listen to her because I'm interested and I think she does really good work. He like brings that up like 6 different times, and he's like, see, so even if you're the devil, you still have fans, you still have people who love you. And I'm like, again, what husband says that over and over and over again, unless he's speaking from the subconscious? That's all. I'm just saying.
A stalking injunction in the first several hours after it's issued.
Right. She's taking notes is beyond me. It's bizarre to me because I think she's feminist, right? I don't know. I didn't have time to watch her video with John Dehlin. But as a fellow ex-mo, honey, you don't need to take notes on what your husband says anymore. You can have your own opinion and formulate your own opinions without taking notes. Am I reading into this too much? I just don't understand. Someone make it make sense to me, because it's odd. It's a really, really weird look.
Right. That's basically saying I don't care. If you see the picture of her in the bar.
Actually, a good point too. She probably was taking notes, putting where she wanted things cut. That's a good point, actually. You guys are making great points. That's why I like coming and doing this with you guys, because you guys help me out tremendously. You give me such great insight.
With you, the message she's sending is, not only do I not care about the stalking injunction, but I'm going to intimidate you.
Oh,
That
I know
is
that's
a
Monica.
pure
Welcome.
message of power
Welcome to
and
all of our LDS
control
folks
and
too.
dominance and intimidation. She's saying, I'm here. I don't care about this injunction. I am going to continue to intimidate.
They realized that, I mean, yesterday people kept telling me that they are locals now. And do they realize that? And do they really want to get into that? And I know that like Anjanette Levy and GiGi, they don't want to become what they are. They don't want to be drug into this. But I feel like GiGi had to say something because people were trying to drag her into it. And she's like, listen, I'm not co-signing this, and I'm not rewriting history. We went over the statement at the beginning, so I won't go over it again. But I mean, yeah.
And control you no matter what. Try and stop me. That's concerning. The mic drop moment I just mentioned.
Recording the police officer. Calling after somebody that was called by police implicated her.
You know what she
And
is,
so
people?
he decided to call her too.
Listen, at worst, you know what we call her? We have a word for it on the internet. She's called a troll.
Yeah.
She's called a troll. And the best way to deal with a troll is to A, pay them. I don't recommend that. B, to walk over the gosh dang bridge and let her sit there and make troll noises under the bridge. That is what a troll does. They just sit there and make noises under the bridge. They're not going to ruin your life unless they're, doxing you or doing illegal things. She's not doing that. You don't feed the trolls. Isn't that rule number one? She's not just feeding them unless she wants the attention, unless this benefits her. But are you so frustrated? Are you so frustrated? You want to play with Daddy? All right, we're going to keep watching this. I'm going to try and find the Charlie Kirk bit.
And that she called him back to record it.
Right. Recording the police officer, posting it online, and essentially not taking the police officer seriously. That's extremely oppositional. That's very antisocial. That's a very antisocial feature.
Posting that, I feel
like I keep saying but I feel like she took it very seriously. She contacted the police, tried to figure out what she could and couldn't do at CrimeCon. I mean, it just burns my butt that she spent all that money for CrimeCon. And we know that Lauren Turd was going around saying she wasn't going to go. So Christina bought her ticket and, planned to go. And then at the last minute, Turd decided she was going to go. And that was, and then I think she really had additional plans for the convention. She knew, they tried to serve it before to keep her from even getting there. She found out she got there and didn't get served. So, served her at the convention. And that was one of her biggest mistakes, was serving her in front of all these high profile people, especially when you've got as many dumpster fires going on with all these high profile people that are keeping their mouths shut because they don't want to deal with drama. Right. So, but you're going to just create all this new drama right in front of them. She wonders how Long found out about it. It was because of her having to serve Christina right in front of Anjanette Levy from Long Coin. She served her own head on a platter.
threatened in a message to her and then posting that online.
Oh, he's so freaking cute. I love
She
that.
showed us her ass, and then people are trying to shame us for looking at it. It's like the same thing with those freaking eyebrows. She's showing us these eyebrows, and she's doing this to her face, and we're not supposed to say anything about it. Like, it's one thing if she has no control over it, but she did it to herself.
And all of this,
Sorry, y'all. I love that baby way more than you. So if you're wondering why I haven't been streaming, that's why. He's my number one.
simplifies the world.
Which it should be like.
And it also fosters conformity. So for those of you out there who know a little bit about philosophy, if any of you read Nietzsche on Good and Evil, in many ways, the Salem witch trials were exactly.
Then he compares her to what's happening to her to the Salem witch trials. Love that.
They showed similarities
Spice
to
out
a
in
moral
me.
crusade.
This is about the spice out in me because I've been dealing with a little bit of this myself. And so I don't like it. And I'm just fed up with it. And like I said, I think all of us have one of these people in our life. If you're a content creator or even not, like to a certain extent, even in school or whatever, you had one of these people in your life, in your friend group that everyone thought was wonderful, but you saw through it, you knew it, but you had to bite your tongue. And, you know, you don't get along with them quite. And then, you know, I don't know. I feel like we all, like, if you're a woman, especially, you've experienced this.
Stalking.
Part of my survival depends on being
That's
human.
why women know this is mean girl behavior. We know what this is. And men have been around women enough their entire life, probably, and they get what it is, too.
It's how I cope.
Everybody that deals with true crime and law enforcement.
Oh, so she makes a joke about the scouts, and she interviewed one of like the SA survivors of the scouts. And she makes a joke.
They don't have to grasp with the, they don't have to be somebody who can like see some off-color things in private messages, someone who has a sarcastic sense of humor. You do. I do. Obviously, it got you in a little bit of trouble on Patreon, but you didn't do anything wrong. Like, part of our brand is to bring in levity.
Oh, sorry. Apparently,
put a tattoo or you do something weird to yourself. And, or also I made this analogy too. Like when you're talking about a person, like what they look like, if you say, well, are they white or black? Well, it doesn't matter, they say to you. Well, no, it doesn't matter, but it certainly does help me in identification. When did it become wrong to talk about the way somebody looks to try to identify them? And especially if they're doing it to you, like they're doing this to their face. Of course, I'm going to identify her like this. And so I don't know. I like I said, I am fatigued with being told like how to think or feel or assumptions put on me for questions that I ask. Like, but I think everybody is like getting to that point. And I don't know.
that joke was made on Patreon. I thought they were talking about she makes an off-color joke here too, about being a part of the Boy Scouts, but I guess she just needed to double down. I don't know.
You can't involve invading the victim's personal life or space.
Okay.
We couldn't defend ourselves without looking like absolute fools.
Yes, you could have. Hold up. What?
Or tit for tat. That's not our brand. We couldn't defend ourselves without looking like absolute fools.
Yes. You guys,
yes.
If I ever look completely crazy, say something. Although sometimes I do come forward purposely wanting to look crazy, right? Sometimes I will wear something that cracks me up and I do it for humor. Like I'm a weirdo and I don't have a problem, but I'm not going to have these evil eyebrows and then be mad at you for noticing my evil eyebrows. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I promise. If I come forward with evil eyebrows, I'm either doing it on purpose or something's gone terribly wrong and I need to be told.
You could have. Again, you just starve out the troll. You don't feed them. Yes, you could have. Again, this is why I say this comes off as very gaslighting. They're trying to gaslight the audience to say, oh, well, it's not us. We didn't do anything wrong. We're completely innocent victims here. And there's no benefit to us whatsoever. Don't mind the fact that
they're not a weird channel. They're not branded as a weird channel. So they're one of those people that like to say, oh, I'm quirky. No, you're not. You are not quirky. You're a mean girl. You're not quirky though. I see no quirks in this. It's weird, but it's not like quirky, like, ooh, fun, quirky, like out there kind of like she'll wear, white past Labor Day quirky, No, you're not quirky, my friend.
Half of this on Patreon. Don't mind the fact that we are actually grifting off of this alleged victim. Don't mind that this person is putting us at risk for our lives and making me consider the sewer slide. Don't mind any of that. This is, gives me the ick. Isn't that what
we couldn't defend ourselves because people have the perception that because we're a bigger channel, that somehow we would be bullying her. We didn't want to defend ourselves because we didn't want to go public with this. We didn't want to defend ourselves because we thought we could ignore it long enough that it would go away. But after months and months and months of continuing multiple posts and escalating, we realized
to the point where law and crime was getting involved.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, law and crime only got involved after you filed. Why are you lying?
We realized this got to the point where the risks were increasing, and we weren't willing to deal with this forever. And that is why in the end, we decided to get.
I'm sorry, whatever reputational damage you have incurred has been as a direct result of your own actions.
Get a stalking injunction.
At this point. All right, I'm going to skip forward to where
I'm getting strange calls from this person saying you're bad, not to work with you.
That, of course, is not up to, that would not be up to us to determine. That would be up to the triers of fact, which would be a judge or a jury. Let's talk about
another book. Again with the books. She rolled her eyes again.
This is from probably the best known textbook on stalking. It's repeated unwanted messages through social media. Private creators that you don't care about victims, right? Like, no. And then in the smear campaign,
here's what also pissed me off: this assumption that there's a smear campaign that's organized. Bitch, I work alone. I don't know any of the players in any of this, by the way. I'm just an attorney. I'm just watching. I'm with.
Like, they even thought that Christina had Lori, the lawyer. They tried to get her in on that hearing and say that Christina got Lori to speak out. Like, nobody's organized. You brought this to our doors like 8 days ago. Many of us woke up to it. Like, I woke up, I'm the baby bird wakes up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, woke up, and I was like, wow, like it popped right up on my feed. I never really watch her. Actually, I don't think I have ever watched her in any entirety. I've seen her pop up on like news shows. I've never gone to her channel and watched her. How about that? But there it was in my feed. I saw it. I was freaked out because any content creator that's like doxing, stalking, that's terrifying. And started watching it, and I was like, like you only really need to watch like 10 minutes of it to get like something ain't right here. It's not right. And then I went over to Jay's for Justice, and all of you all were like, nah, this ain't right.
Oh, y'all. Okay. I'm back here with popcorn at this point.
You get wait for the receipts. Wait for the receipts. That too is a form of harassment.
Well, where were your
receipts? Ma'am, where are your receipts? We keep being told there's receipts, and the only receipts that I've gotten are sorry, Judy. Sorry. I will take it down. Sorry. It's good for my blood pressure though, baby. It's good for my blood pressure. The only receipts that I've seen are from fellow content creators.
You engaged in the exact same harassment you're claiming she engaged in.
Is a threat.
Oh, just wait for the receipts. Just wait. They're coming.
Yeah, both sides are telling us.
So spreading.
That's not a threat.
I mean, Christina is not. Christina was telling Lauren, but not. And Lauren keeps telling us, that whole stack of papers that I don't think we've out. Like, I think he has those same stack of papers that we're not seeing any receipts from them.
That's called
books and thought projects are not, and analogies of Brad Pitt are not receipts, my friends. They're not.
Grifting. Grifting of the highest order is just wait for the receipts, wait for the receipts, just wait till next time, just wait till next episode.
False information. That's another criteria.
Book, is anything we're saying true?
Oh,
if you don't have a Facebook, is anything?
He just got done taking a shower and he woke up and now he's flying around the apartment. And when I get excited, he gets excited. I have to manage my emotions. Like when I first started YouTube, I was really depressed and sad and I cried all the time. And he started plucking his feathers. And so it was one of the reasons why I had to get my emotions under control, because I didn't want a sick bird.
Doxing, by the way, that's classic harassment. In fact, doxing is defined as harassment. Were we doxed? Yes, I was doxed. You were said that she believed there was so little information on us because we curated nothing.
I mean, maybe we should get
cyber stalking behavior that defines cyber stalking.
Maybe Lauren needs, like somebody in the chat did say that they put on there that she needs to find a good therapist. I mean, it would be a good idea for Lauren, Dr. John, and Grayson to find separate therapists and learn to manage some emotions here, right? Or get a bird. It'll tell them when their emotions are out of control.
Ready for this one? Encouraging others to harass the victim.
There's a lot of that, and a lot of that publicly.
Definitions. I'm going to stay with the textbook stock definition. Finding stalking here, broadly speaking.
Again, he goes in on this definitional, here's what they say stalking is. Here's what this law says stalking is. Here's what this says is stalking. Who cares?
Right? Quote, for constellation of behaviors, do they fit?
Yes.
Yet, of course, there's plenty of people apparently out there.
You that I always do want the best for people and hope for the best, and really like to put into play in my thought like ideas like, what if they did this? What if they, you know, like I like to play the what if game. And I know it's a dangerous game to play, especially when you're dealing with people who can't possibly understand because of whatever reason, whatever mental health defect they've got going on. They just can't get there.
Who argue that this wasn't stalking, this was catfighting, this was Real Housewife stuff, whatever, there was no harm involved. I would urge them to go look at the legal and academic definitions as I just defined.
I don't
wish stalking.
I actually don't wish ill on my enemies, because I know when you wish ill on people, you run a real risk of getting that ill flying right back to you. I just wish karma. Like, I just want the universe. You know, I know, like, a lot of times when people do things against me, I won't do anything, because in my experience, I've seen karma come back and hit them, and it hits them pretty hard. And I just kind of like, I do take satisfaction in karma, but I don't take joy in people being unhappy. But I take satisfaction in people who have done bad and wrong for so long and have gotten away with it, when it finally, the tune changes. And, you know, I do take a little satisfaction in that.
We did.
Because stalking, one of the interesting things out there,
you understand that, like, nah, I don't have to do anything. Like, I do believe we are connected by energy, and that what you put out there in the world does come back to you. And what you do behind closed doors when nobody's watching, it does matter. And what Lauren was doing behind closed doors matters, and it wasn't good stuff.
in terms of listening to some of this debate about what stalking is that,
oh, I see. Maybe they're doing some CYA so that there's not a counter defamation suit. Maybe that's what it is.
almost all the people who would disagree.
I hope that for them. I hope that we don't get a triple down. I expect a triple down video. We got the double down yesterday. I expect a triple down, but I do hope that they maybe learn and read the room and go sit down and take a cue from their stalker who's been silent through all this.
With the academic criteria that I'm reading and the legal.
Maybe they're saying when we were talking about stalking, this is what we were talking about. We weren't talking about the Utah legal definition for stalking or the Colorado definition or that's I think what they're doing.
Criteria.
Whatever
They see stalking.
Talked about the UK.
It's like you need protection.
And to the media.
The stalking laws in UK are much different than the United States. We just have to look at the Watts case, or even we can look at the Johnny Depp case, where in the UK, Amber Heard won, right? In the United States, who won, right?
Who thinks that filming civil stalking injunctions is okay.
This is stalking in another country, but in the United States, it is not.
By the way, I hope that you can reconsider that position.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Honey, that's how you make your bread and butter. Bullshit. This is, this isn't cynical, Danny. This is honest, Danny, right now. You make your living off of covering these horrible cases. If you're not going to grant other victims the right to privacy over the public interest, don't sit here and say, well, I deserve my particular type of case doesn't deserve public scrutiny. Bullshit.
I wonder if this is maybe why people that are being abused can't escape their abusers, or that it might be used as an abuser's way of coercive control.
I can't.
Well, and on that point, by the way, we fought vigorously for privacy.
Here it is.
We did.
Vigorously.
The same county, by the way, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I might add, by someone who was incited by online rhetoric and violence. The same county.
The
where someone lost their lives because of online rhetoric.
What? This is where not only did she lose me, she made an enemy out of me right here. Because I'm a huge free speech advocate, huge free speech advocate.
Me too.
For her to sit there and say, Charlie Kirk lost his life in the same county where my stalking injunction that was not credibly supported, that was not valid, that was likely to be tossed and not upheld, where I could read between the lines and see clearly that this was a non-starter, where I was trying to silence my online bully, is the same county that would allow that online bullying to escalate to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Honey, no. You don't get to use the law to silence people. Not in this country. Maybe in other countries, not here. It's foundational.
That's what I just said. Maybe in another country, sister, but you're in the United States and you're not going to, she knew she wasn't going to win. And so she thought she'd roll the dice. I think she really thought that in the court of public opinion, that for whatever reason, she thought that this was going to work out for her, and it completely didn't. Thank you so much, Amber, for gifting 5 Dragonfly memberships. Let me pop over and see. I didn't see it go through. So welcome to the new Dragonflies. Let me say my thank yous really quick before I leave. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Betty. Just call me Betsy for your $1.99. And thank you so much, Sam R, for gifting 1 Dragonfly membership. Thank you guys for your support. It means so much to me. And if you guys could just check to see if you're subscribed, make sure you give this a thumbs up. And also let me know what other aspect of this case you want us to talk about. Let me come down into chat and see what you guys are saying. And then I got to get going so I can do some TREAT, say that twice, training with the little bird. We see you, sir. Indeed we do. We got your number, Dr. John. Dr. John. I can't even say it. J for Justice says it better. But I can say the law and crime really well. Law and crime. Law and crime. The Charlie Kirk, it's just disgusting. It is like, she's really lost me there. American law sucks, more prisoners than any other place on the planet. And I disagree with Danny's take about the point F a Nazi. I don't think that American law sucks. I think that it does need help. Our criminal justice system isn't perfect, but I do disagree with you on that one. But I mean, right? F a Nazi. I didn't hear her say anything about Nazis, but I'm with you with F a Nazi. A more important issue is she claims a mass mailing to colleagues caused them to shun her. And yet we've not seen this mass mailing, but I mean, something must have happened because we know GiGi found out about it in the spring. She wrapped the mass mailing into the bigger picture, but did not blame the stalker directly. She also put it on one person when it was a group of girls. I mean, Christina's the one that went the furthest and put the TikTok up, but I don't think that she should be the one solely to blame. Americans are so weak these days. So many people brains melt about defending Nazis. I don't know what you're talking about there. I really disagree with that. We're struggling in our country, but every country's, the whole world's struggling right now. I still am very proud to be an American. Yeah, Dr. Babe, go back to the 18th century Encyclopedia of English Law. she lost subscribers. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how many subscribers she had. I've seen people join her hidden gems while she's doing her lives and stuff. So you don't have to mail shit whenever you're on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Kylie, for your super sticker. It's really, really appreciated. But please tell us more about how UK has the right kind of stalking laws to fit your narrative, right? It brings to mind how in the Chris Watts case, one of the crime victim family, the Rucheks, have gone over to the UK, and they have silenced a few content creators over there, which I don't agree with the things that were said, but I don't agree with the silencing either. So I want my free speech to be there, and I recognize that you have to allow others, and sometimes it sucks what people say. Like, I would like to punch people in the face on a daily, but that's also illegal to do, so I don't do that. But, you know, it's not illegal to have the thought yet. I know the thought police are coming after us any day. Anyway, you guys, that's what I have for today. I am going to be coming back later tonight with Shannon, and Sundays are our days where we go a little more soulful, a little more spiritual. We talk about the mystical side of life, the paranormal. We talk about spirituality, religion, all those good things. I don't know quite yet what we're going to talk about yet, but that's what I'm doing later tonight. If you want to stop on in, 8 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday, we do Highly Strange Days. And yes, the Highly Strange Days is a wink wink to herbal medicine. I used to be on prescribed narcotics, heavy prescribed narcotics, and I was bedridden, and I weaned myself off of the prescribed stuff to the herbal stuff, and it saved my life. So we don't sit and smoke at the same time, but it is a nod to that. So if you are 420 friendly and you want to stop by and talk about some ooky spooky stuff this Halloween season, I think we're going to look at scary videos. I'm kind of in the mood for just doing something like not too strenuous on the mind, doing that. So, but unless Shannon has something else she wants to do. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for supporting me. Thank you for all of the super stickers. Kylie, Into the Weeds, Betsy, and Sam, thank you so much for supporting me. It means a lot. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me and chat. Like I said, I am looking for a few mods, so my email is scrolling across the bottom there, parawomanradio@gmail.com. I'm really bad at checking my email. I forget. So if you don't hear from me in a few days, it just means I forgot to check my email. So, but I do get to my email. So, guys, if nobody, also I want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor. WILD Deodorant is our sponsor today. Thank you, WILD, for supporting us. I have autoimmune issues, and there's nothing in this deodorant that will cause any problems in your body. It's aluminum free, and it's all healthy. They have people on here even eating this deodorant. I don't recommend doing it, but if you want to try it out, please do so. And WILD has given me a 20% off coupon to give to you guys. And there it is. You just need to use my link. And yeah, they have some pretty cool new holiday Halloween cases. The whole idea of it is you buy one case and then you buy refills so that you're not buying constant plastic and putting it out into the universe and the world. And so, and also once you buy the case, you can buy your refillables at, I think they're at Walmart and Target now. So, okay, guys, that's all I have for Realzy. If nobody's told you guys this today, and even if they have. I'm still going to tell you guys this. I love you guys so, so much. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye, guys.
Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out.
With you tonight, and it feels fine. Feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling and hoping for some time with you.